Saturday night. Oh, I'm just relaxed as fuck tonight. Got a bunch of sleep. Bunch of easy, smooth, chill back prepping. Did a little body cam video. Got my coffee sign hung up. There's a little problem though. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but when I was testing it out, it looked all fuzz, like the light was too bright. We'll see in a second. What's up, everybody? So if anybody, I'll go ahead and throw the link out here right off at the bat. If anybody would like to join the panel, you're more than welcome. Or if you'd like to call in, you're more than welcome too. I didn't get to watch the Truth and Transparency Drunk Turkey show last night, but I was under the impression last night that Kim, the caller, the WSU mom, was going to be on there too. I didn't get to check it out, except for maybe the first 10 minutes on a drive, but I don't know if Kim actually called or was on that show, so if anybody's seen it and can let me know if Kim in fact was on that show or if they were just discussing it, the vetting and all that stuff, or even what it was about, if you can just let me know. What's up, Kelt? Thank you for the intro message. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was at home. We were doing the show, and then after the show, I just laid down, chilled back for a bit, and when I woke up the next morning to get ready for work, that's when I saw everything. And then throughout that morning, you know, the local chatter and stuff, that's kind of what I was giving you guys when we went through that body cam, is what the local chatter was saying about that particular Walmart West, and how do you put it? Letting shit slide, I guess, is a good way to put it. What's up, SRV, KibKitty? Yeah, how's the sighting coming along? Ain't nothing wrong with bumming around. That's what I did. I bummed around, and then I bummed around on the desk, but I still did a little bit of work. I was trying to put together a schedule for tomorrow. Just different things for the channel. I'm sitting here at the computer desk, and I'm excited to do my sports show tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon. I'm excited for that. I heard the Chiefs beat the Jaguars just a few minutes ago. Thank you. I appreciate that, SRB. I hope everybody's feeling better. Pam, how you doing? Yeah, I really didn't listen to it too much. Snow? I don't know, actually. There's a Ryan Hall y'all video that I didn't get to check out last night. You know what? Maybe I'll start the show off with that, because I do like to give everybody weather updates from the best weatherman on YouTube. Yeah, let me do that. Let me look up his channel real quick. And I know it's in my rotation, but I don't want to go through it all. There's a lot of videos. All right, let's see here. Ryan Hall, y'all. Best weatherman on YouTube. I wish if you see his icon picture, I would love to have that hoodie. That is a really cool hoodie. All right, so we're going to go to Ryan Hall Y'all's page. Haha, wrong one. Hello. Here we go. Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time, Pam. And happy retirement for the hubby. This is about to cause huge snowstorms, is what he's saying here. So let me put his channel link in the chat, just to make sure I get all the sourcing out there. Yeah, he's the best weatherman on YouTube. And that's right, KibKitty. He is even better than... I'm telling you, I go to this guy before I even go to the local. That's no lie. All right, let's start watching and see what he's got to say. It's an 8-minute watch. Let me turn down this music.
This summer has been really warm and lacking in snow for a lot of us east of the Rocky Mountains. But something really interesting is about to happen in the atmosphere that will set the stage for a train of snowstorms to plow through the country. So let's really dive in and see if you are going to get snow this month. Okay, so we all need to get on the same page about what's been happening above our heads. We've been locked in this situation where there's a ridge in the jet stream that's set up over the majority of the country. This has allowed for warm air to spread all over the place. This is one of the reasons why we've had so many problems with severe weather. But I really think things are going to start changing significantly starting right now. Today, California is going to stop getting battered by all these storms as a new ridge forms over the west coast. And all that Pacific energy is going to start hopping over the ridge and sliding down through the Rockies. And this is going to end up causing a big dip in the jet stream, or a trough setting up east of the West Coast ridge. And this trough is going to allow for more cold air from Canada to start breaking out into the US in a really significant way. Combine all that with an active southerly track for storms, it's going to help pull the cold air even farther east. And the cold air is going to make it all the way to the coast. And as long as the upper air pattern is set up like this, any developing storm will have the ability to cause a big snowstorm. In my last video, I pretty much explained this very scenario, but I made one huge mistake. I mentioned that we would have one chance of a snowstorm during this big pattern change. But as new model data is pouring in, it's actually looking like there's going to be two chances for a big snowstorm, even before we head back into our annoyingly warm pattern. You can see this clear as daggone day by looking at how much spin there is in the atmosphere, or energy, as we go into the future. You see this swirly thing over here in the southwest? That's our main troublemaker for the first storm that will be impacting us through the weekend and into early next week. Notice how it turns into more of a wavy thing as it moves east, and it's leaning towards the right. We call that a positive tilt. And this energy kind of determines the intensity and efficiency of the storm's ability to pull warmer, moist air out of the south and colder air out of the north. And when it's all progressive and wavy like this, it's weaker. And if we look at the precipitation map, you can see that this starts out as some light to moderate snow out here in the Four Corners. Then it starts picking up some steam in the plains as some of that Gulf of Mexico moisture gets injected into the system. This is going to bring heavy rain and thunderstorms to the southeast as we go from Saturday night into Sunday. But look at that backside snow in the Midwest and Ohio Valley. I mean, it's barely there. It's not very intense. Nevertheless, as the storm approaches the East Coast, it's going to continue to produce heavy rain in the south and increasingly heavier snow showers in the northeast as we go from Sunday into Monday. Notice how this model, the European, shows the main low pressure center riding the coast. This pretty much means all rain for the big cities along I-95, but really heavy snow for the interior northeast. In this scenario, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and a lot of Maine get slammed with over 8 to 10 inches of snow, while the coastal cities get absolutely nothing. This is because that positively tilted wave is not allowing for the storm to eat that tasty Gulf of Mexico food that it really wants to sling into the backside so that the snow starts building up. And yes, take it from an expert, storms do get hungry, just like you. But unlike you, storms don't have these awesome opportunities and options like today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Fresh ingredients and tasty recipes delivered straight to your door. HelloFresh is a healthy meal subscription service that sends you everything you need to make restaurant quality dishes right in your kitchen. No more going to the grocery store and guessing how much this and that you need. It just shows up with detailed instructions on how to prepare it. You can also customize each order as much as you want by choosing specific calorie and carb smart recipes, or you can go deeper by swapping around specific ingredients. My family has been using HelloFresh for years. Like, we couldn't live without it. And even my 2-year-old gets excited when he sees the big green box being packed in on delivery day. I am not a good cook, but I have even tackled some of these meals solo. And if you were to eat it, you wouldn't tell the difference between me and a 5-star chef, son. That's how good this is. So head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code RyanHallYall21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. That's right. I'm going to hook you up with 21 free meals, son. Is there any other weatherman doing that? Just go to HelloFresh.com and use the code RyanHallYall21. And of course, there's going to be a link in the description. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. This one means a lot to me. We really love the service. And let's get back into the video. But look at this. Right after that first storm gets out of our hair late in the day on Monday, another storm system is rearing up back here towards the west. Now that's what I call a swirly thing. Notice how as it moves over Texas, it goes from having a positive tilt to a negative one. This is going to allow for it to very effectively pull deep, rich moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, it'll have enough pull to actually bring dew points into the mid to upper 60s across portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, and Alabama on Tuesday into Wednesday. And guess what that means? Yep, there's going to be more severe weather. The big wigs over there at the Storm Prediction Center are already highlighting this area for a potential severe weather outbreak on their Day 5 outlook. And it should be noted that Day 5 severe weather outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center in January are really rare, but we've seen this pattern where they're issuing these long-term forecasts and knocking it out of the park every time, so we should really be paying attention to this one. The timing here really won't be nailed down until we get closer, but right now, I think we're going to see strong storm pop up in Louisiana late in the day on Tuesday, and then continue to produce a nocturnal severe weather threat through the day on Wednesday as these storms track across the deep south. But while all this stuff is happening down there, the cold side of this storm on the northern side is actually going to be producing heavy snow. Check out how this model shows a full-on snowstorm for parts of Texas and Oklahoma and into Arkansas on Tuesday, and then it gets even bigger as we go into Wednesday and it tracks into the Ohio Valley. This one's a little bit farther out, so the details are still blurry, but I am confident that this storm's going to be way more impactful to everyone involved than the first storm. There's a chance that this becomes even stronger and impacts the Northeast again, but there's also a chance that it ends up only impacting the interior Northeast or maybe even just Canada. But right now, the main thing to note is that this one's going to cause problems no matter where it ends up going. The GFS model actually agrees and shows a blockbuster of a snowstorm for Michigan. But beyond this point, we really need to wait for more data to come in before we start trying to forecast the exact track of the storm. But looking even farther ahead, the GFS does show the potential for one more storm around the transition period between January and February. This one also has huge potential to bring snow to the East Coast and heavy rain to the south. But after that storm, things are going to start changing big time again. Unfortunately, I think we're really going to go back to the pattern that we've been in where it gets warm and unnecessarily snowless once again. Pretty much all the data is showing signs of that southeast returning, and once that gets reestablished, it's going to act as a block that stops any more significant storm systems from maturing into something more fierce. They're all going to track up here into northern Ontario around the top of the ridge, and that ridge is also going to develop some high pressure to keep the mild air in place for a while as we go through February. Of course, it is possible we see snow in March, but it's too far out to even talk about that right now. And when our main trough starts pushing out to sea, it will allow for a new trough to enter the Pacific Coast region as we get into early February. And this is definitely going to lead to more unsettled weather across the West Coast, but I really don't think it's going to be as bad as this most recent bout of flooding and storms. For now, we need to be focusing on what we know. And what we know is that things are about to get wild in the near future. 3 big potential snowstorms are on the way. And as new data comes out, we will be able to pinpoint who's getting snow and how much. That's your weather forecast. If you want to see one, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and thank you for watching. Okay? Goodbye.
Ooh. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to let him do that. Ooh. Ooh. There you go. Had to get that out of the way just for everybody. Since you asked SRB, you know, I do like to play the weather for everybody so everybody has an idea of what's coming up. Because, hell, I don't even know. Josie, that's funny. I switched it back to the one I had. The newer one I had was just too choppy looking. So I was like, yes, right. Hey, Melmac, Ryan Hall is the best. Period. YouTube, local, everything. We haven't played Ryan Hall, y'all, for a little while. Oh, yeah, fingers crossed. All right, there's a couple updates I'd like to get into real quick before we get into the other stuff. I did put up a new message, so we don't have to keep repeating this in the shows. So, Batismo, there you go. Thank you. Batismo will be posting that every 15, 16 minutes during the show. Just to, remind everybody, hey, come on. Let's be real. All right, so the first update I'm going to go to, thank you for this, KibKitty. This is not confirmed, but remains found in search for missing Oklahoma child Athena Brownfield, but cops can't confirm ID. Next update I'm going to go to is the two little girls in Texas. Unfortunately, this was 20 hours ago. If anybody has a newer update, please, if you have something, please send it to me.
A supervised CPS visit at a McKinney restaurant instead became a kidnapping turned Amber Alert.
This is crazy.
Our main goal right now is to find these little girls.
They are 9 and 6 years old, sisters Jessica and Jennifer Burns. McKinney police believe their grandmother, Jamie Burns, took them during a supervised visit Thursday with their dad and a caseworker.
Which is a extremely bizarre, rare, once in a blue moon type of situation that we just never really see.
Todd Shapiro is a Collin County attorney. He is not connected to this case, but has taken on a number of CPS cases. He says supervised visits are just part of the path to reunifying the family.
Whatever the family law courts decide is the right plan usually comes from the plans that CPS puts in place.
These supervised visits happen all the time, but rarely ever end like this. The father, Justin Burns, was arrested and is now in the Collin County Jail on kidnapping charges.
We do believe he was involved in this.
It's unclear how Jessica and Jennifer were taken. Police do say the caseworker called 911. Todd says there are too many details that need answering.
Somebody was there watching this meeting, this dinner, that had to have vetted or done a background check on grandma and on dad and was okay with them getting together. My question is, how did they turn their back?
Police believe Jamie Burns is driving a 2009 black Ford Escape with Texas plates. She has a long criminal record, more than 10 offenses in Texas and Florida, dating back to 1984. Police believe the girls are not safe and need to be found. In McKinney, I'm Jovan Puniker.
McKinney police ask that anyone who sees the girls or their grandmother, please call 911. They also have an information line for other tips in the case. That number is right there on your screen.
And like I always do, I'll leave those up for a second just in case. Let me see here. We're going to go to my folder. See what we got. Let me see here. And then as I'm going through my subscription list, there's somebody that hops in the channel time to time. I just seen he has a first premiere on YouTube World Channel, Donovan Holler. If you want to check him out. All right. This just came across. What is this about? We'll get into the meat and potatoes here in a little bit.
Daytona Beach, a 76-year-old woman is accused of shooting and killing her terminally ill husband inside a hospital. In his husband's room at that hospital, police say the woman never threatened anyone else, and after about 3 hours of negotiation, police took her into custody after using a stun grenade.
A stun grenade?
Turning
What?
now to tragedy this evening.
Whoa, let me hear that again. Come on, YouTube. Stun grenade? What? Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. Come on, YouTube.
In Daytona Beach, a 76-year-old woman is accused of shooting and killing her terminally ill husband inside a hospital. Police say it happened inside her husband's room at that hospital. Police say the woman never threatened anyone else, and after about 3 hours of negotiation, police took her into custody after using a stun grenade.
I was like, what?
In
Oh, come on, YouTube. What is going on? Come on now.
In Daytona Beach, a 76-year-old woman is accused of shooting and killing her terminally ill husband in a hospital.
YouTube.
Police say it happened inside her husband's room.
My Lord. I don't know. Whatever they've been doing these last few weeks, they need to stop or be done with it soon. I mean, I'm going through my folder and I'm like, where are all these videos I saved for my playlist? That's been happening the last week, where videos duplicate constantly or don't show. I don't know what's going on. I know they're messing with some stuff. I don't know what's going on though. Jeez. All right. We'll get into the folder here. Yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of blurry, I think, don't it? Yeah. See my coffee light? I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. It's almost like it's too bright. And there's not a brightness setting on it. It's just an on-off switch, so I'm not sure. So if anybody has any ideas, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of film thing or something I can put over it to darken it up. I don't know. It just seems way too damn bright for some reason. I saw Kelt message right in the beginning. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Kelt in here yet. I know it's a little early. I'm excited. Hopefully JSD hops back in tonight. We've got some stuff. I figure, because she didn't hear the first phone call, so maybe if she hasn't heard it yet, we could go through that one and the other one. Pretty interesting stuff. And we do have that Drunk Turkey show that we could check out. It's just a 3-hour stream. I was like, damn. And I wasn't able to check it out. That's one thing I wasn't able to do today. Okay, so let me scroll up here. Yeah, there it is right there. 3 hours and 13 minutes. Let's see. Why has this case become so famous? Let me go through some of these here. Release from hospital. Oh, yeah, this plunder video I thought might be interesting, too. We did watch that last night. That was a great video. All right, so let me see here. Let's go to the teacher video about that student that pulled the gun out in class and shot her. All this stuff going on.
Well, an update now to a shooting we've been
and then the thing at Walmart, it's like, geez, everywhere.
Following in Virginia, a 25-year-old teacher shot by her 6-year-old student is now recovering at home after being released from the hospital. In the meantime, we are hearing from the child's parents for the first time. The family releasing a statement through their lawyer. News Nation's Sloan Glass is here with more. Sloan.
Kelly, it's good news for that first grade teacher who rushed her students out of the classroom after being shot. And now, in a newly released statement, the parents of the 6-year-old are praising the teacher and offering their side of what they call a horrific incident.
2 weeks ago, police say a little boy suddenly shot his first grade teacher, Abby Zwerner, in the chest. The 25-year-old rushed her students out of the classroom before hospital. Now the parents of the child accused of pulling the trigger released a statement about what happened. They say, our son suffers from his mother or father attending school with him and accompanying us every day. How the week of the shooting was the week no parents were with him in class. A lawyer who specializes in special education says having the parents in the classroom is not the appropriate way to manage behavior problems. This statement also says our family has been committed to responsible gun ownership and keeping firearms out of the reach of children. The firearm our son accessed was secure. The family lawyer says the gun was on a top shelf over 6 feet high and had a lock that requires a key. But somehow the 6-year-old was able to bring it to school. And police say the elementary school received a tip that day that the boy had potentially brought it to school, but searched
that
his
crazy?
bag and found nothing.
Ain't that crazy?
Parents and teachers demanding better security.
I want
Yeah.
behaviors held accountable. I want change.
Hell yeah.
I don't
Preach.
don't want to have a family dinner where I talk about where my kids will hide in their school. I
Right.
would rather be discussing
Come on.
archery practice or listening to the adventures of a 4th grade safety patrol.
The city uses metal detectors in the school and high school. Now, metal detectors will be installed in the elementary school.
Our students do not wonder if there will be another school shooting. They
It
wonder
should be.
when and
The family says that
This should be in any frickin' public frickin' establishment. Or, like, all of it. Come on. I mean, this shit happens so much.
the child has been under hospital care and is getting the treatment he needs.
The investigation is ongoing. No charges have been filed against the first grader or his parents. And given his age, it's highly unlikely any will come for the 6-year-old. There is a Virginia law prohibiting leaving a loaded gun where it's accessible to a child under 14. It's a misdemeanor crime with a maximum 1-year sentence. Kelly.
All right.
You know, and then we had that video of the baby wave. I mean, jeez. And then hell, Walmart yesterday or the night before. It's crazy. You can't even go to. Yeah, we came across somebody. I can't remember. Somebody sent me the link to their channel a long time ago, and we came across this lady. Actually, like the phone line that I have here. This lady actually called a similar type phone line, left a couple voicemails, because you can leave voicemails. You know, if I miss your call, it'll go to voicemail and you can leave a voicemail. He noticed that this person from the Washington area called a couple times and left a voice message. And so he was doing a show, I think it was a week ago when we were checking it out, and this lady called in and like had all this information, you know, and started talking to him about everything. And we went through the part 1 and then we went through the part 2. It is in the description on the previous episodes. We went through the part 1, which was the call from Kim, from the mother from 2 students at Washington State University. And then there was a part 2 that went through all the vetting of everything she was saying and all the information and stuff, which was absolutely great. Not only that they put out the call, but also that they did all the vetting and stuff as well. So that was really cool. We profiled those 2 videos. I think it was last weekend maybe. And then Chronicles of Olivia came out with another interview. I guess Chronicles of Olivia contacted the Drunk Turkey show and asked if she could have the phone number to interview her as well. And so she went ahead and did the interview, and then we went through that call last night. Justice Served Daily was on panel last night as well when we went through that call. That was wonderful too. And we went through that call, and then he had Truth and Transparency, or the Drunk Turkey show had Truth and Transparency on their show last night. And so they did a 3-hour stream, and then Truth and Transparency, which is a phenomenal channel as well, also did like a recap today. So I think what we'll do is, if there's any timestamps of anybody that has the Drunk Turkey stream last night, the 3-hour one, if there's any timestamps or anything, send them to me or tell me where to go. Just put the time in the chat, and I'll go to that part of the video. If there's anything, with that Kim call or anything. I thought maybe she was going to be in the chat with the panel, because you can still, whoever's in the panel, the open panel, is still able to hear the caller And I'm not sure if they can ask questions either, but I think it's just specifically towards my mic feed. But I know that people in the open panel will be able to hear the voice of the caller in the actual stream, because I actually have to go to its own tab in order for everybody to be able to hear a caller. So it was really good. But I think we'll end up checking out the Truth and Transparency recap. But again, if there's any timestamps you want me to look at with the 3-hour stream that they did last night, please put them in chat. Yeah, it's crazy about all this stuff going on, and then just this Walmart thing. I mean, it's freaking nuts. You know, it's not real until it happens a few blocks away or at your own home. Good evening, ATS. How are you? Willow, what's up? And again, this is Baptismo. They'll be putting out this little message. I updated this today, so that way we don't have to, keep repeating that for everybody. Baptismo will do that for us. I appreciate you being here, Pam, and I appreciate the beautiful words, for real. Yes, Justice Served Daily was in panel last night. I'm hoping she comes on tonight because I'd like to talk more. And that's what I loved about it too. We went through the phone call together in panel, and we had a difference of opinion, but it was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beautiful thing about it, is she thought different things. I thought different things, but it's beautiful. Chat was like 50-50, it's definitely cool shit. I love it. All right, I do want to show you guys, this is what this sign by me is supposed to look like, okay? Because when I put it up, and I was like, ooh, that looks cool, so I took a picture. This is where, this is actually on my wall. I took a picture with my phone. But that's what it's supposed to look like. So if anybody has any ideas on how I can actually darken it up so it's not so blurry, because yeah, it's blurry. What's up, Kez Chick? How you doing? Thank you for hopping in. Thank you, ATS, because it's coffee, right? Come on. When I started thinking, I was like, what kind of sign do I want? I want coffee. Because we all love coffee in here. Now, what kind of coffee? I don't know. That's up to you. But we all love coffee. So, coffee it is. Damn it. I just don't know how to... I wish it had like a brightness setting on it, because I'd tone it down and then maybe it would show up right. No, it's not the angle either, because I was gonna take down my Nirvana Nevermind album display. I was gonna switch it, because I thought that same thing too. I was like, maybe it's the angle. So I went and I switched it, and now it's just too bright. So I almost have to have like maybe like a some kind of tint, or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of something to have a filter on it so it tones it down a little bit. I wish it 100%. It'd be amazing if I had like a dimmer. Is there like a dimmer thing I can plug into it or something? Like, do they make something like that? Like a dimmer switch for your electrical whatever? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't know. I even turned like, because I like my blue. I have like these lights that go around my whole ceiling, and I like my blue light, to go with the whole blue of the show and stuff. And I know with that on, you can barely see the blue. But I turned like the main light in the room on, and it was still like, it's just too bright. I don't know. Yeah, like lighting gel. Never heard of that. Fine silk screen. Something. I need something. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Because I'd definitely love to have that coffee. Come on. Coffee. All right. Let me get back to the show folder. I just wanted to show you what that was supposed to look like, not what it looks like right now. So, and I was not going to take it down. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm leaving it up. We'll figure it out. I'll figure out something. I will start getting into this Alex Murdaugh case here. If not tonight, I will in the next few days, because I do want to get into that. I've been thinking about this Chad and Lori Daybell case. I don't know yet. I might. I don't know. We might. And this video came out too. Thomas Frost, Richard Allen playing pool at JC's Bar and Grill in Delphi. That was a few hours ago. Let's see. Okay, so we watched this one. Let me go into some of these other clips here, because I have so many Koberger videos I haven't even touched on, just because we've went over these calls and stuff. It was a great stream last night too, when we went over that Chronicles Olivia phone call. It was a great stream. Great chat. I mean, so many different views, so many different questions. But I was so proud because it was so beautiful. 10 biggest con job. There was something that popped out to me. What the hell was it? I'm missing it. And we'll get into this a little later. It's a half hour. There was something. What was it? I do want to check this one out and give it some quick airtime, because we did talk about Shanquella Robinson. This is kind of something, I don't know. I just figure we should check it out. Maybe it was this Richard Allen playing pool, but I feel like it was something else that I wanted to show. Yeah, let me go to this one real quick and see if I can find it here. And thank everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it.
This morning, shocking new details from the family of Elliot Blair, found dead while vacationing in Baja California, Mexico. Blair, a prominent American public defender from California, and his wife, Kim, were celebrating their one-year anniversary at the Las Rocas Resort and Spa when the Blair family's lawyer says she was awoken by resort staff in her room.
The main investigating officer walks over from Elliot's body, looks at Kim, and tells Kim through the interpreter that there's a bullet hole in Elliot's head.
This bombshell claim adding to a series of conflicting reports between the Blair family and the Mexican officials. Mexican authorities say the 33-year-old fell from the third-floor balcony of this hotel room, calling it an unfortunate accident.
What?
The Blair's family doesn't believe the Mexican investigation, suspecting foul play, insisting he was the victim of a brutal crime. This is ABC News has just obtained the 911 calls of that night. At 12:50 a.m., the resort calls to report, quote, a person who apparently suffered a fall, finding him lying and has blood, suggesting it was a possible fall from a balcony. 20 minutes later, the paramedics arrive on the scene, saying Blair had no vital signs. 5 minutes after that, reporting there were no signs of violence.
En un primer momento, el día 14.
The Attorney General of Baja California State, in his report, stating that the amount of alcohol found in Blair's body was considerable. His family now hiring a private investigator and are desperate to bring his body home so they can conduct their own autopsy.
At this point, the facts continue to not fit. Nothing fits.
Now, we understand that Elliot Blair's body has been released to the family, but it is still at a funeral home in Tijuana, and bringing him home could take days. Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
I need to watch that freaking clip again because I'm just like, what? What?
This morning, shocking new details from the family of Elliot Blair, found dead while vacationing in Baja California, Mexico. Blair, a prominent American public defender from California, and his wife, Kim, were celebrating their one-year anniversary at the Las Rocas Resort and Spa when the Blair family's lawyer says she was awoken by resort staff in her room.
Yeah, that's what I thought, SRB, and then all of a sudden it turned to a fall. I'm like,
and tells Kim through the interpreter that there's a bullet hole in Elliot's head.
Right here.
This bombshell claim adding to a series of conflicting reports.
Investigating officer walks over from Elliot's body.
She was awoken by resort staff in her room.
The main investigating officer walks over from Elliot's body, looks at Kim, and tells Kim through the interpreter that there's a bullet hole in Elliot's head.
This bombshell claim adding to a series of conflicting reports between the Blair family and the Mexican officials. Mexican authorities say the 33-year-old fell from the third-floor balcony of this hotel room, calling it an unfortunate act.
Okay, was it a fall or... Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the beginning, because I thought they said that they walked past his body? What? Hold on.
Celebrating their one-year anniversary in California, Mexico. Blair, a prominent American public defender from California, and his wife, Kim, were celebrating their one-year anniversary at the Las Rocas Resort and Spa when the Blair family's lawyer says she was awoken by resort staff in her room.
The main investigating officer walks over from Elliot's body.
Walks over from Elliot's body, looks at Kim, so that's telling me that the body was in... Huh?
The investigating officer walks over from Elliot's body, looks at Kim, and tells Kim through the interpreter that there's a bullet hole in Elliot's head.
This bombshell claim adding to a series of conflicting reports between the Blair family and the Mexican officials. Mexican authorities say the 33-year-old fell from the third-floor balcony of this hotel room, calling it an unfortunate accident. But Blair's family doesn't believe the Mexican investigation, suspecting foul play, insisting he was the victim of a brutal crime. This is ABC News has just obtained the 911 calls of that night. At 12:50 a.m., the resort calls to report, quote, a person who apparently suffered a fall, finding him lying and has blood, suggesting it was a possible fall from a balcony. 20 minutes later, the paramedics arrive on the scene, saying Blair had no vital signs. 5 minutes after that, reporting there were no signs of violence.
En un primer momento, el día 14.
The Attorney General of Baja California State, in his report, stating that the amount of alcohol found in Blair's body was considerable. His family now hiring a private investigator.
Okay,
And are desperate to bring his body home so they can conduct their own autopsy.
At this point, the facts continue to not fit. Nothing fits.
Now, we understand that Elliot Blair's body has been released to the family, but it is still at a funeral home in Tijuana, and bringing him home could take days.
Oh my gosh. It sounds so similar to, like, my gosh, the way that they did shit for Shanquella Robinson. What the fuck? Like, conflicting reports and shit not making sense, and celebrate your 1-year anniversary here. Okay? My gosh. So much stuff coming out. I mean, jeez, what the... You can't even go on a frickin' anniversary. I haven't heard anything, KibKitty. Seriously. What, you know, like, oh my gosh. It's been so long since we've actually, Ashley Burns. I mean, there's so many that we were covering, and there's nothing. There's nothing. You know, the couple that murdered, took the baby. Yes. Good evening, Allison. This is crazy. I know, yeah, never have. This came across the break and I'm like, huh, well, maybe I'll show this tonight because I didn't hear nothing about this. This is nuts. What the hell is going on? Jeez. All right, let me go through the breaking. See if we got anything brand new, and then I'll start going to some other stuff here. Freaking nuts. And then I did a body cam video. I uploaded that a little bit ago of the Walmart stuff. I mean, that shit's nuts too. All right, there is a new News Nation video that just popped out. I would like to check that one out real quick. Let's see. We'll go ahead and switch to it here. And thank you, everybody, for hopping in. I know, KibKitty. It's like, you know, you go to Walmart for fucking groceries and... Jeez.
Now, former 22-year veteran of the FBI and private investigator Dennis Franks. Thank you for here.
My pleasure.
The restaurant is disputing the claims about Kohberger. Is this another case of simple misinformation?
It's hard to say. I mean, I would not be surprised at all that there were some sightings where he was present, where they were present, one or more of the victims present at some time.
Jeez.
I would venture to say that that's more than likely the case. In this situation, it's hard to say really if that happened or not.
What was your thought about the items that were taken from the search warrant that we learned about this week?
Yeah, there are telltale signs, you know, usually hair samples or something that you look for in the search. They're certainly being analyzed and compared to his as well as the victims. I think there was even dog hair that was taken. And if he doesn't own a dog, they'll compare it with the dog that was there. I think there's just an accumulation of evidence throughout this case that really makes a strong prosecution.
What is the likelihood you think that they can prove in court that it was Kohberger's DNA found inside of that house? It was a known party house. There was a lot of traffic, presumably a lot of DNA in that house.
Well, they did get the DNA off the knife sheath. And I'm sure that when he was arrested, they had a warrant to take his DNA, and that is being analyzed. If it hasn't already, should have the results. And if I were a betting person, I would bet that there's a strong chance it would show up as his DNA. He already has, you know, the connection with his father.
They already put that.
That the DNA taken off the garbage in the house in Pennsylvania.
They already put that
linked him with the son as being, you know, 99% chance.
We've also heard in reports that the alleged killer attempted to message one of the victims.
This guy's
what
a
are
day
your
late.
thoughts on this?
You know, that this type of a killer, if he is guilty of it, or whoever did this, it would not surprise me that they were trying to message or get in touch. Maybe there's some previous communications. I'm sure they're going to go back and look at phone records from months, or if not years prior to this, and determine if that could have been the case. Again, we'll have to wait and see what shows up in court.
And let's talk about the gag order as it stands right now. It is extensive from the judge. And we know there are these 22 news organizations, including the Associated Press. They're banding together. They're asking the judge to narrow the order to reconsider. And they say it's incredibly important that the public understands and has context of our criminal justice system. It's important to be able to cover this. Is a gag order to this extent unprecedented? Is it the right thing for the judge to do?
I just got to hear what he has to say.
In my view, it is a very strong gag order that is present in this state. I think it's necessary sometimes if there's a lot of pretrial publicity, if one side or the other, whether it's the government or defense attorney, are trying to score points, trying to influence the public before the trial starts. But there's still, I think there's a right for the public and the press to have, sufficient information that is, what's going on at the time. So this one is, I think, very stringent. We'll see if
the gag order is crazy. I do
Dennis
agree.
Franks, appreciate your time.
I do agree. The gag order is a little extreme in my opinion, but that's my opinion. What's up, Phantom? How you doing tonight? I did check out that link. Holy crap, man. That is crazy. And that's a rabbit hole in its own. For real. Speaking of Twitter, Brian Enton is doing a Alex Murdaugh show on News Nation tonight. And so I think tomorrow night's show, we're going to go over the Twitter Spaces conversation that he had this morning. And then I'm going to go into a lot of the News Nation. I'll probably end up playing the News Nation special on tomorrow night's show because I'll already have it by then on my Breaking. So I think tomorrow night's show is going to be more focused on the Alex Murdaugh trial. So we'll have a lot of content when it comes to that. If you know, I haven't really studied it too much. I think I watched a documentary on it a couple months ago or something. When it was like a documentary about the boating accident before this trial. I watched a documentary on that or something. So I don't know too much about this, but there's a lot of content out there right now, and with Brian Enton making a News Nation special tonight, I'm definitely going to have that tomorrow night. We'll go through this in the beginning of the show, the Twitter Spaces convo, because I do always enjoy the Twitter Spaces from Brian Enton, so I like to play those too. So we'll probably do mostly tomorrow night will be Brian Enton. Tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon stream, that will be a sports show, just to give you a heads up. So I think tomorrow night, Alex Murdaugh. Tonight, we're still going to be into the Idaho 4 and whatever else is going on here. And a dollar short. Thank you, KibKitty. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, thank you for the please give me the updates of the scores because I'm interested. Eagles. So the Eagles will be playing the winner of the Cowboys and the 49ers. And I'm telling you, for the sports show tomorrow, I got some good videos coming up about the rivalry between the Cowboys and the 49ers in the past. On duty, Ron, I heard a bunch of media outlets are basically trying to get the judge to take off. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Fingers crossed, because, I mean, trust me, I understand the gag order, but there's a right for public information as well. And I think there should be a balance in that. I know a lot of these cases nowadays, they're having a lot of, gag orders and being stingy with the information as in to past cases and stuff. It seems to be getting the norm now with a lot of these cases, and so it's just like it's getting a little more and a little more and a little more, and it's like, come on, we need a healthy balance. We need a healthy balance with all this stuff. Yeah, so we'll be getting into the Alex Murdaugh stuff tomorrow night. Willow, if you're going to be in the sports show tomorrow, or if you want to send me some links, please do. I just have to be very careful because when it comes to the sports shows, there's only certain things I can use when it comes to the content because of the heavily copyrighted, clips and such like that. So I have to kind of be a little careful. The last couple shows that I did for the sports was testing out certain things, seeing what takes place. I'm pretty good with all my sourcing and where I got information, and it's going to be so much fun because not only can we talk about current sports, we can go back in time. You can give me, hey, is there something we could watch about 87, NBA finals about this team and this team. Yeah, let's do it. I got my sources where I'm totally cool. So we're good to go on the sports. I'm excited. I'll have a new schedule for the podcast coming up tomorrow. I'm in the midst of getting everything finalized. So I will be having a new schedule starting Monday night. And thank you, everybody, for being in here. 2 thumbs. All right, let me get back to the show folder here. Let's see here. So we did watch that. And that's crazy. Elliot Blair. If anybody is in here coming in late and you didn't see what we just saw when it comes to another new case, just look up Elliot Blair. Blair. Oh my gosh. That shit is crazy. All right. FBI agent discusses connection between Kohberger. And also, I just want to go ahead and throw an invite out there. If anybody would like to join the panel or if you'd like to call, you're more than welcome. There you go. All right, let's see what this former FBI agent says the connection is. I'm going to save these Alex Murdaugh videos for tomorrow night. Might be a long show tomorrow night. I might, maybe I'll get on early tomorrow night. Instead of 7 Central, maybe I'll do 6 Central for tomorrow night's show, because it probably will be a long one with this Alex Murdaugh stuff.
There are some new details coming out tonight about alleged reports surrounding the Idaho murder suspect. Early this week, People magazine reported that Kohberger ate at a restaurant where 2 of the victims worked as waitresses. News Nation spoke with Steve Helling, a senior crime writer for People, yesterday. This is what he had to say.
Whether or not his paths crossed with the girls there and whether or not that's where it started, that's something that the cops would know for sure. But we know for sure that he ate there at least twice.
But now the Mad Greek restaurant is rejecting reports that alleged killer Brian Kohberger dined there shortly before the murders. In a Facebook post, the restaurant saying, quote, "This will be my only response to the story from People. It is not true." Now, this comes as new documents released this week show a laundry list of items seized.
Whoa, it just ended. What the fuck, YouTube? What the hell? How did it go to here? That is a good source for sports, if anybody does want to do a sports show.
There are some new details coming out tonight about
I don't know what happened.
reports surrounding the Idaho murder suspect. Early this week, People magazine reported that Kohberger ate at a restaurant where 2 of the victims worked as waitresses. News Nation spoke with Steve Helling, a senior crime writer for People, yesterday. This is what he had to say.
Okay.
Whether or not his paths crossed with the girls there and whether or not that's where it started, that's something that the cops would know for sure. But we know for sure that he ate there at least twice.
But now the Mad Greek restaurant is rejecting reports that alleged killer Brian Kohberger dined there shortly before the murders. In a Facebook post, the restaurant saying, quote, "This will be my only response to the story from People. It is not true."
I'm going to go ahead and read that post real quick since I can see it. And I don't know if you guys can or not, but I'll go ahead and say it. Good evening, Caroline. How are you doing this evening? And who reported it? Because wasn't it a news? I know we didn't go over it. Who reported it? Yeah, thank you, SRB. Yeah, let me go ahead and read this post real quick. Mad Greek, the news media should really do their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to this story from People. It is not true. This person who wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a whole bunch of extra work for myself and the investigators. I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. We all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. To all media, reporters, internet sleuths, etc., please allow us to grieve the loss of our friends and coworkers. This has been extremely hard on us. With our phones ringing off the hook, reporters banging on my door at my private residence and hunting down employees, as well as showing up constantly at the restaurant, we have not been afforded the time to grieve. Please stop calling, messaging, knocking, and showing up. I personally will not be doing any interviews or entertaining wild accusations at this time. My employees also feel the same. To all others, please don't believe everything you read. If it's not coming from the courts or the LE, wait until it does or doesn't before judging. To everyone who has supported myself, my family, and my employees, thank you. Your kind words and support help us get through each day while we navigate these unknown times. Respectfully, Mad Greek. Yeah, I wonder who, by an ex-employee, but what news organization? Because I thought I did see a news organization did come out with that. I know we didn't cover it. It never even came up on my. It wasn't even in my playlist for the show. So, all right. Definitely wanted to check that out. That's a good message, and I'm glad they put that post out there. And just like we do, news organizations should also do the same thing. So, oh, nice. It put me at the top. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in. Chemistry Queen, how you doing tonight? I hope you're feeling better. You know, I know I have some of those videos saved, but honestly, there's too many important things to discuss than the DM stuff, you know? I don't know. We got other cases too, you know what I'm saying? It's a 3-hour show. We got other cases to cover. Captain Carey is my son. What, somebody else is in here? Captain Carey? I didn't see a Captain. Well, if you're in here, Captain Carey, hello. Yeah, thank you, my Mike. Yeah, we're gonna save the Murdaugh stuff for tomorrow night's show. It'll pretty much be all, probably 90% Murdaugh case. Let me see. I do have a couple other videos, but I'm not sure. We'll get into it later on tonight if we do. Just, you know, different things, economy-wise, such like that. We're going to get into this one a little later into the show. Alex Baldwin, we might get into that tonight. Definitely going to be a good video. That's a Banfield video. We'll be saving that for tomorrow night. Since we're on that topic, we'll go ahead and talk about this. We'll listen to this again. This is a Banfield video about the disputed information.
I've got a late
I'm happy. Thank
update
you.
here, late breaking
I'm
update
so
to the
glad
story
you
that we brought you last night, where People magazine had said that they had found a restaurant employee of the Mad Greek restaurant in Idaho who confirmed that Brian Koberger had been in that restaurant a couple of times, ordered a vegan pizza, had some strange requests. And that really gave us the nexus to the victims in the Idaho killings. But the woman who runs and owns the Mad Greek restaurant is
Yeah, Melmac, tomorrow night I'll probably actually get on at 6 Central tomorrow night because I probably literally have 3 hours of content that we'll be going over tomorrow night in the Murdaugh case. And that's without any breaks and talking and everything. So I think tomorrow night I might actually get on at 6 o'clock Central instead of 7 because I have a feeling it's going to be a 4.5 who knows kind of show. But we're definitely going to be diving into it tomorrow night.
Pushing back, Jackie. She is saying the news media their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to this story from People. It's not true. However, I will say this, People magazine talked to a former employee of the restaurant, and an investigator, a source of theirs, confirmed that it was true. So that's tricky, and we'll have to navigate through all of that. But I can't think of a better example of the full saturation news coverage of sensational cases that keeps us all on the edge of our seats, but at the same time possibly poisoning a jury pool. That can happen. Susan Constantine knows this well, because she's a jury consultant, she's a trial strategy expert, and not coincidentally, she's a human behavior expert. She's consulted on some of the biggest high-profile trials of our times, Jeffrey Epstein, Michael Jackson, among them. Susan, first let me just start off with the obvious question. Changing a venue is usually what you hear first, right? That's what defense lawyers, sometimes prosecutors, Jerry Sandusky, the prosecutors wanted.
Whoa, Jerry Sandusky, hadn't heard that name in a while.
Changing a venue is different in this day and age because venues are all the same with social media, with your phone and the instant alerts. Is there such thing as a change of venue anymore?
Well, the last I heard of a really big trial that I was, where Orlando, Casey Anthony have a change of venue, but they were pulling in jurors from Pinellas County into Orange County. That actually was effective in this particular case. But I want to share with you that I just got back from London, and in the grocery store in London, there were two of the workers that were there where they were talking about the Idaho murder case and already said about that man that had killed those 4 people. So you're right. I mean, there's nowhere you can hide, nowhere you can go. Everyone's heard of it, no matter where they're at. We're a global universe. The World Wide Web makes you feel like you know the people next door.
And yeah, Melmac, the boat accident, and you know what I'm talking about. The boat accident thing before what's going to be coming up starting Monday. The boating accident alone, that whole case is like, what? Yeah, it runs long and deep in that area with the family. Like, you could literally do a week's worth of content just on everything that has taken place with that whole. Yeah, it's crazy. Thinking of going to see nephew in Vegas, and oh, neat. Do you have a KibKitty? Do you have any pictures that you would like to show of any of the Cirque du Soleil stuff, or any videos too? Videos would be like videos from the phone or something, maybe. Yeah, definitely take some videos and pics. That'd be awesome, KibKitty. Excuse me. Caroline. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me. I know, Melmac. I just don't know about this current thing going on with the whole 911 call and, the unalivings that took place on the property. That's the only part I haven't really checked out. But everything before that, yeah. No, I don't think KibKitty has a channel. Holy crap, the Eagles are tearing it up. That's expected, though. It's the damn Eagles, He was in the Beatles Love Show at Morale. Yeah, if you have any pictures, let me know if you send some, and we'll show them.
So what do you look for? What are your tricks of the trade so that someone who's up on the stand getting voir dired to be a member of a jury panel? They're not a stealth juror who's got a mission, right? I'm going to nail that guy, or I'm going to write a book, or whatever they might do. What do you look for to make sure you get the panel that your client, be it the prosecutor or the defense, needs?
That's a really good question too, Ashley, because really you start with the demographic factors. You know, we know that there are specific type of jurors that tend to be more authoritarian.
I'm gonna rewind this just a little bit. I do want to say, KibKitty, you have amazing information and amazing links, and you are out there on the YouTube world, true crime YouTube world, and maybe, you know, your comment about a channel or whatever, but when it comes to your links and your information, I appreciate it so much because everybody even knows. They're like, hey, I seen you at this, you know, you're out there. So I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that.
Ashley, because really you start with the demographic factors. You know, we know that there are specific type of jurors that tend to be more egalitarian versus authoritarian based on their job, their background. And then you go into, you know, in every case it's different. So for, let's say the Idaho murder case, we've got 4 people that were killed. 3 of them were women. So that's going to change the dynamics. How many of those people that are on that jury pool or that were summoned for the jury that have children the same age that may also be in college that may project?
Well, I have an idea. KibKitty, I have a question. Do you know a lot about the Alex Murdaugh stuff? If you do know a lot about the Alex Murdaugh stuff, and you'd like to hop in panel or call in tomorrow night's show, you're more than welcome. It'd probably work better with a panel for tomorrow night's show, because with the panel we can show videos and clips and watch the programs and stuff like that. With the phone call, it's pretty much just the phone call feed. But anybody's more than welcome to call if you're more comfortable. 812-250-8484. Caroline. You guys are funny.
Their fears and concerns on that particular defendant. That's one of them. The other thing is that once you compile certain demographic factors, we know that women are generally harder on crime than most men are when it comes to these violent acts against women, even in sexual assault cases. And then in addition to that, then what I'm doing is I'm watching their responses. I want to find people that are really honest. When I say honest, I mean you could sense in their facial expressions, their warmth in their eyes, they want to be helpful, and they are easily
That smile,
to have a
you know,
conversation with.
doesn't it just
So they're
irk you
not
the
really
wrong way?
forcing it. And so you can tell that when you're reading facial expressions, because you can see it in the muscles in their face and what's firing. So I'm looking for contemptuous facial expressions. Those are the smirks, the eyebrow raises, the demeanor, rapid eye blinking, which is showing cognitive load. So I like to look across and I want to see when a probative question is asked, one that should create some sort of stimulus. I'm watching to see which jurors' eyes are blinking more rapidly than others. So I mean,
it's fascinating. Well, yeah, I'm going to get you back next week. I'm running out of time, but I want to get you back next week because jury selection starts on Monday. Susan Constantine, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Gotcha before the video ended. Yeah, I wonder who reported it. Oh, you know, that smile when he's walking out, you know? It just irks you the wrong way. Thank you, SRB, for saying that. I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate y'all being here for real. Has anyone linked him to connection to it? I don't know. I don't know. One second here. I got a notification. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is a picture from KibKitty. Let's see here. Ooh, look at that. It won't let me zoom it in. If you're able to send it to email, it will let me zoom it in. This is a Facebook message. If you want to put in chat KibKitty, the year, make, model, the color, what is that? What color is that? Like a green? I wish I could zoom in on it. But yeah, pretty neat. Thank you for that. Okay, let me scroll through these other videos here. Visited. Okay, source claims. I wonder if it says who the source was in this video. That'd be interesting.
Stunning new revelations and another possible connection between suspected killer Brian Kohberger and college students killed
Oh,
in the
stop.
University of Idaho. Sources tell People
Stop
magazine
this
that
long
in the
crime.
weeks leading up to the November
Who's the
strikes in
source?
Moscow, suspect Brian Kohberger
A
ate
source.
at the restaurant where two of the victims were.
Breaks it
A former
down.
employee at the Mad Greek says
The
that
restaurant
Kohberger came in
owner.
at least twice. He stood out because of his strict vegan diet. Unclear either Madison Mogan or
All right, there's no sourcing in there, so I'm not even going to entertain this video. We'll just go ahead and drop it. I've been thinking about making a new background too for the show. I'll be having 2 days off with the new schedule, so I think I'm going to start doing a lot of updates for the channel when it comes to content, shorter content, kind of like the body cam video I posted today. I should have posted it last night. Just different things, you know, even the brain stew that we come up with, little bits and, you know, maybe 10-15 minute videos and such, be uploaded in a different category than the podcast, because they're going to be like clips and highlights and shorts and things like that. But I'll have a lot more time to actually update channel, update the things we do, kind of showcase things more. So the stuff that we do talk about gets showcased more on the channel. I do appreciate your guys' brain stew and everything that we make. Yeah, Elliot Blair, that's a crazy one right there. Okay, do you think this is the other glove? Ooh, I do want to watch this video. True Crime Rocket Science. We do watch his videos from time to time he creates and makes for everybody. And I do like to showcase those. This is the link to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you have anything for me, you can go ahead and send it to my Gmail or my Twitter. Gulfstream Aqua 1969 Mach 1 428. My husband restored it. Took 5 years. 1 of 7. Wow. 1 of 7 in the United States? Holy crap. 1 of 7. Wow. Do you have like pictures closer up, or maybe pictures of the interior or the engine or anything like that too? That's pretty neat. This is, wow, 1 of 7. This is True Crime Rocket Science. And we're going to check out this latest video. I appreciate his channel. Yeah, I need to make an intro video. I need to do a whole bunch of stuff for the channel, you know. So having a couple days off a week with this new schedule that starts on Monday is going to allow me to be able to not only showcase your guys' brain stew in a shorter form, but also you know, have updates for the channel. I'm excited. So we're gonna watch this. Do you think this is the other glove? And I'll put the link to this video in the chat as well.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Item number 1 listed in the search date 30th of, that's the same day that Brian Koberger was arrested. Item number 1 in terms of the item seized from his apartment, right, from his residence at Washington State University, was one nitrite type black glove. And that's actually a spelling error. It's not nitrite, it's nitrile. And people who are familiar with the Chris Watts case would know that, because blue nitrile gloves were sort of recovered in that particular case, one in the bedroom, one behind the refrigerator. And of course, we know in the kitchen, some of the some artifacts were found in the garbage. So it seems like we're dealing with the same thing here. Possibly a perpetrator committing a crime using some of the paraphernalia associated with dealing with the pandemic, possibly alcohol or whatever to clean one's hands, but then also a face mask, and then also these sort of gloves that are some people used in order to not get germs on their fingers, right? We saw them sort of making an appearance during the pandemic. Now, I did actually hear one expert, it's a she, it's also a doctor, saying something about a balaclava. Well, that is not what the affidavit refers to. You would assume that the killer would have wanted to buy a proper face mask like a balaclava, but actually he was wearing a mask that simply covered his nose and mouth, not his head, not his forehead, not the kind of balaclava that you'd imagine. But what we want to talk about here is that item number 1, one nitrite, should be nitrile type black glove. And by the way, details matter in true crime. Getting the spelling right also matters. And so where is the other one? What happened to the other one? And News Nation sort of covered this. Today, retired homicide detective with an impeccable reputation discovers absolute crew right there in front of everyone as he actually solved the thing, right? And that is what we're going to talk about. We're going to just look at that in a bit more detail, a little bit more in depth in the rest of this episode. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So leave a comment right now. Do you think this is the other glove, the glove that you see? Now, what's quite frustrating for me when the podcaster was asked to address questions about this, he was asked, well, what kind of glove? And he said something like, I can't say if it's male or female. And I kind of scratched my head when he answered that way, because I was sort of expecting an answer like, well, it's rubber, or it's a flimsy material like a nitrile glove, or it's leather or something like that. And instead he didn't say that. And I don't know, like, if you were asked what kind of glove is it, would you sort of default to male or female? Would that be the first thing that would come to mind, right? So not much of a description, but it looks like he did find something after all. So what do you think? Do you think this is a big clue? Now, again, the clue to the answer to this, I believe, lies in the substance that it's made out of. It is a nitrile glove. Nitrile gloves are a very thin, chemical-resistant, puncture-resistant material. It's a synthetic copolymer. It's formed through combining acrylonitrile, which sounds like something that is something like an acrylic, and butadiene combining. So, but basically it's a synthetic thing. I think it probably feels a little bit like a silicone swimming cap, a little bit like that. Very stretchy, but also a quite a resilient fabric that isn't easily punctured. Sounds very fancy, but it also just simply looks like a deflated balloon, doesn't it? Now, I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist. I don't think you need to know chemistry to be able to look at that image, look closely, and decide, does that look like a nitrile glove or doesn't it? The other glove is a nitrile glove. Is that a nitrile glove? Well, it's black, but does it have any of that sort of deflated characteristic about it? Because to me, it does kind of look like a snow mitten. It looks like it's
Good night,
sort of puffy
Chick. Thank you for hopping
and
in.
has sort of ill-defined finger spaces, as Jody says on page. So, to my money, that does not look like a nitrile glove. Do you agree with that? Now, you might say you can't say, it's not very easy to see. I did actually see a nitrile glove on the ground, funnily enough, today. I was barbecuing at my father's house, and there happened to be one lying on the ground in the garden, a blue nitrile glove. And I took a photo of it, and that is the kind of thing you'd expect to be seen. Can you see how it's to that particular image? So that's the first, I think, argument you want to make. The other argument is, how does it make sense that the killer fleeing the scene, right? So you can kind of almost imagine the dog is barking, one of the residents of the house is ambulant, is walking around, and the killer wants to get out of there as soon as possible. Why would he deviate from the route from the sliding door? Why would he deviate from the route from there to his vehicle in order to run between the garbage bags, garbage containers, and then, in other words, do a quick garbage run on his way out of the crime scene? Why would he do that? I suppose you could argue that someone else may have picked it up and put it there, but that doesn't make sense either, because it's not in the garbage, it's next to the garbage. So this whole idea that this is a smoking gun aspect to the crime scene, I don't think really washes, because number one, it's not a nitrile glove. Number two, it isn't in the garbage. And why would the perpetrator literally dump evidence of himself? And this is supposed to be a PhD candidate. Why would he literally go to the garbage? Now, of course, it is important to look at everything within the cordoned off tape, right? It's important to look at everything and do an inventory. And it is important, the fact that they overlooked this glove, and that is something the defense will more than likely bring up. So I would like to ask you guys, especially those of you who go to other channels, has this come up, this idea of the glove? Has anyone spoken about it? And isn't it actually fairly straightforward? The other glove needs to be a nitrile type black glove. Well, is that a nitrile type black glove? Has no one really been explicit about the fact that it isn't? Has anyone asked the podcaster that question? I'd just be interested to know. Thank you for listening. Next time.
I need an intro, outro video, damn it. What's up, Punksy? I'm going to be having Mondays and Saturdays off, Punksy. So if Monday, this coming up Monday, if you would like help with the StreamYard stuff, just give me a heads up. But I'm going to be having a new schedule. I'm going to be showing it tomorrow and from each stream on out with the new schedule that I'm coming up with. It says it starts Monday, but really it's going to be starting tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing the same thing tomorrow that I'm going to be doing with my upcoming new schedule. I'll be having my sports, late morning, early afternoon sports show. And then in the evening, we're going to do the true crime stuff. Tomorrow night, I might be getting on at like 6 Central. We have a lot of stuff to get into with the Alex Murdaugh case, and a lot of content to go over. So we got a News Nation hour special. We have a Twitter Spaces conversation and a whole bunch of other stuff that I got saved for the Alex Murdaugh case coming up here. Yeah, just give me a heads up, Punksy. Definitely. I'm excited for you. I can't wait. Can't wait. If there's any of the mods that are able to put links in the chat of the other content creators, I can send you the links to all of the content creators that I do like to throw up in the channel. If there's any mods out there that are able to post the links when they hop in, just reach out to me and I'll send you all the links that I have. That way, you know, for instance, Punksy or ATS or Justice or any of the content creators that do hop in here, Allison Faye, you know, if you're able to put their link up in the chat while we're doing the show, I'd totally appreciate it. I just have so many other things going on and it's really hard for me to do that. That's why I got this Baptismo. Oh, thank you, SRB. Yeah, let me do that real quick, because I do you know, I do like to throw them out there. It's just with all these, you know, all the different things I have going on for the live show, sometimes it's just tough. Let me see here, 1 second. All right, let me send you a email here, SRB. Thank you so much for doing that for me. And here's all the links. Let me separate them in case you're able to copy one link at a time in the email. So I'll just get them separated. All right, there we go. Thank you, SRB. I appreciate that. And if anybody else is able to do that as well, just go ahead and reach out to me and I'll send you the links also. Thank you so much. Eagles 28, Giants 0. Damn. And KibKitty, yeah, Twitter is amazing for breaking news and updates when it comes to true crime or sports or anything. I never used to use Twitter until I started this podcast a couple months ago. And I'm telling you, Twitter is amazing when it comes to true crime, sports, breaking news. I mean, so many things. It's awesome. It's definitely awesome. All right, let me go to some other videos we got. That was a good video there. I do appreciate True Crime Rocket Science. Man, YouTube, it's either YouTube or StreamYard. I don't know what's going on. It's just way delayed. Oh, shoot. Unresponsive. Okay, there we go. The other glove. So you guys don't buy it, is what I was looking in chat. Oh, we do need to watch this. News outlets joined to oppose gag order. We did bring that up. I'll be listening, going to make supper. Punksy, what are you making for supper tonight? Talk to us. Make us hungry.
New at 5 tonight, the Moscow, Idaho murder case has captured the attention of the world. And with the attention has come rampant misinformation.
That's one of many reasons 4 News Now is joining more than 20 other local and regional media organizations to make sure you have access to how the court case against Brian Kohberger plays out. Kohberger was arrested last month and charged with killing the 4 University of Idaho students. Immediately after his arrest, a judge put in place a broad gag order forbidding anyone associated with the case from releasing information. The coalition, which includes 4 News Now, the Spokesman Review, 2 other TV stations in Spokane, and the New York Times, believes the court needs to balance the right to a fair trial with the public's right to know. And this coalition believes the current gag order would infringe on the First Amendment rights of people involved in the case.
Dan Shelley leads the Radio, Television, Digital News Association, which is also part of this coalition. He says, quote, courts across the country are frequently able, even in the highest of high-profile, to balance the defendant's rights with the rights of the public to have vital information. There's no reason why this court can't do the same.
Damn, YT, come on. Yeah, that sounds very good, Punksy. Some ranch and some bacon. Ooh. Come on, YT, let's go. What are you doing?
New at 5 tonight, the Moscow, Idaho murder case has captured the attention of the world. And with the attention has come rampant misinformation.
That's one of many reasons 4 News Now is joining.
Jeez. Now where did it put me somewhere in this folder? This is like a couple days, 8 days ago. Oh my gosh, what are you doing, YouTube? Gosh. I don't know why it does this. I'm sorry, everybody. This is crazy. Maybe I should go to the free StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. It's got me thinking about $25 a month for it. Man. Is what it is. Love letters. Okay, I do want to check out this video from Plunder. I think if I have played a video from hers, it was like, I do enjoy her channel, for real. Good videos. I haven't played much of her channel. I am going to play this video, though, because, you know, you hear about this stuff when it comes to all these true crime cases and how there's always love letters and visit requests and such like that. So since we do talk about this case a lot, I thought maybe we would go over this video as well. Thank you, ATS, for hopping in, and thank you for putting that up there. If you have something for me, please send it to my Gmail or shoot it to me on Twitter. This is Plunder True Crime. If you're not subscribed to her, please do. And I will put the link to the video in the chat when we start playing it. So this is what her channel looks like, so you're not confused. Because I always like to show the channel as well as the link, because sometimes you're not able to get the link. You go search the channel and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, which one is it? That's why I always like to put the actual screen share of the channel itself. All right, let's see what this video says here. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in. Thank you for the score updates, too. Damn, Eagles are tearing them up.
This is my huge apology to Angela Palermo. She's a reporter with the Idaho Statesman. The Moscow Police Department in Idaho lied to her, or either just gave her the incorrect information about the surviving roommates. At least one surviving roommate actually being on the second floor of the 1122 King Road house in Moscow, Idaho, when the horrible crimes happened. I want to talk about that, why I'm apologizing. I want to talk about this woman on Facebook riling everyone up over her love letters. I want to talk about me scheduling a case. So I know I'm researching other cases. I'm still planning to create other videos, but this Kohberger case is not going anywhere anytime soon, especially as people keep talking about it and are supremely interested in it. In a recent video, I played a segment from a press conference and wondered why Angela Palermo made the assumption that 2 of the Idaho surviving roommates were on the first floor of the 1122 King Road house on the night of the crimes. I thought during the press conference she was just making that assumption, and that's why Angela formulated her question in this manner on November 23rd, 2022.
Angela Palermo, Idaho Statesman. I was wondering if there's any evidence that suggests the attacker visited the first floor where the 2 surviving roommates were.
That information will not be released at this time. It's part of our investigation. And as we stated earlier, there's many things that are involved in investigation that we will release and things we won't.
Well, it turns out Angela formulated her question that way because that is exactly what police told her. They lied to her, and Angela is coming back with the receipts. Today is Friday, January 20th. She showed the email that Rachel Doniger sent her. Rachel Doniger is listed as a Moscow police spokesman. That email is dated November 21st, 2022. You'll see the email says, this is Rachel with the Moscow Police Communications team answering a list of 3 questions that Angela posed to her. And in reply, Rachel wrote, "Hello, Angela. Here's the first question of why this whole thing got out of whack to begin with. Were the 2 surviving roommates sleeping on the first floor during the attack?" Rachel answered, and I quote, "Yes, they were on the first floor." So that was wrong. She said, "Can you confirm whether they were unharmed?" She answered, "They were unharmed." I'm assuming she means physically. Emotionally, mentally, psychologically, I cannot imagine their damage. Did the attacker enter through the sliding glass door on the second floor? This is unknown. That was the answer. So my question is, why did the police lie to this reporter just seeking facts? A full 8 days after the horrific crimes, I'm pretty sure police knew that Dylan, one of the surviving roommates, was actually on the second floor. She actually saw Brian Koberger leaving. So did police intentionally start this lie? Tell Angela with the Idaho Statesman this lie in order to protect Dylan. Now that's admirable to protect a witness, but I'm thinking perhaps they could have told reporters, we choose not to answer that question to not cause confusion. Or was it just a mistake? Of course, mistakes happen. So I just wanted to apologize once again to Angela Palermo because she had her stuff right. She's coming out with receipts. She did not make assumptions before asking that question in the...
Right. And it was a good question. Good night, Chemistry Queen. I appreciate you being in here, and I hope you continue to have better health, and I hope the sleep tonight is very restful and energetic for you. And that is true, KibKitty. They came out with so many different stories, so many different... I mean, hell, when they first came out and said it was a murder-suicide. I mean, right from the get-go. So, and when it comes to like channels like ours, we report it because we are reporters too, right? When it comes to us on YouTube, we're also reporters. Okay, and we're going off of statements from them. And so when we have a statement that says one thing and a statement that says another thing, we're not going to sit back. We're going to hold these people to their words. And that was a great question. And I remember that press conference. There was a few great questions that were being asked. And I remember coming away from that press conference going, what the hell? Great questions. Nothing was answered.
The presser, she was going off of directly what the communications team in Moscow told her, and what they told her was incorrect. So sometimes reporters get blamed for stuff where they shouldn't necessarily be blamed because that's the info that's being passed along to them. Now, whether people choose to believe it or not is another thing. I know on Dateline NBC, when I did that breakdown recently, and I quote the words of Keith Morrison from Dateline NBC, "The weekend of the murders, there was another party at 1122 King Road Friday night through early Saturday. Sources have told us that as many as 150 people attended, and at least one person was communicating with me back and forth. She just outright doesn't believe it. You know, some people just, for whatever reason, they have in their own minds, even though Keith Morrison with Dateline NBC, very reputable, they were boots on the ground talking to people. There was a party, according to Dateline, that Friday night with as many as 150 people. Some people on Facebook are like, how could 150 people fit in that house? Some folks on every single floor, which it's a huge house, and it's going to be released soon, next month. So we'll see what happens with that house. Will, other kids rent it out? That would be so scary to me. But are people milling around the parking lot? Are they in the house? Some people flat out will refuse to believe it, maybe because they think, oh, that helps the defense, and we don't want to do anything to help the defense, so I'm just going to say that party didn't happen. People have their reasons for thinking a certain way. I believe the party happened. I believe Dateline NBC, and they say the party happened. They say they spoke with witnesses. They have a long journalistic reputation. So anyway, in the meantime, people are writing to Bryan Kohberger. At least one person I know of is requesting a video visit. There's a woman getting tons of backlash on Facebook, and I'm not going to name her or show any of her photos, but she put up a photo January 6th with hearts all over it, Bryan Kohberger. And she's been writing these really, really long posts, which I haven't read all of them, almost professing her love for him, or I don't know what she's talking about. She talks about anxiety. She talks about her 16-year-old son. There's so much going on there. But of course, she's getting backlash. Of course, people are wondering, why are you doing this? This is par for the course. She talks about writing Bryan Kohberger, I'm assuming where he's at now, at the Latah County Jail. I don't know if she was talking about prior to him being extradited. But again, I haven't read her long post. When people write really long blocks of text without breaking them into paragraphs, it's really hard to try and, take that in. My warning to her, I actually did leave her a comment. I was warning her, all of this is going to end up in discovery. Somewhere in there she included a photo of herself, and she was talking about, messing up her eye makeup, and I feel you there. I'm no expert makeup applier, as you can tell. I was warning her, be careful. I was telling her to be careful because all of this will end up in discovery, just like in the Chris Watts case. I think many of those women, and I'll go dig up some of those Chris Watts letters and photos, I don't think many of those women realize. There was one in a bikini, and there was one, some people send poems and prayers. Some of their addresses were featured. Some were kind of censored, but they forget to censor everything. So I tell her, be careful. I mean, this woman, she has children, obviously, at least one child. Maybe there's some emotional problems going on. She's getting this backlash. She's writing her letters to Bryan Kohberger are private, and she might not realize, like I didn't realize in this digital age, that we would see all of these letters written to Chris Watts for a certain period of time. And we can see his visitors history and all that stuff. So people got to know who's trying to contact these people. This is something that's been going on since the days of Ted Bundy, the Hillside Strangler, the Night Stalker. You'll see all these women writing to these quote unquote bad boys. Now, it's normal for writers, journalists, and people, and not everyone has an admiration for them or a sick fascination for them. They call it hybristophilia, is a real thing. It's a sexual interest in and attraction to those who commit crimes. In some cases, this may be directed towards people in prison for various types of criminal activities. No matter how horrible and heinous the crime, you will find people who want to get in touch with these men for the wrong reasons. But some just want correspondence for other reasons. Writers like me or journalists will want to write to these people just because we want to pick their brains or even eventually get more information out of them. There was a different case. It wasn't Chris Watts. It wasn't Chris Coleman. It was a different Chris. And this one writer wrote an excellent piece in Esquire. It corresponded with this one Chris, another man who took out his whole family, horrible way, but just to pick their brains. And I understand why people want to do that. Maybe it's their role. Some of us want to proselytize, as they call it, or, just still recognize they allegedly have performed horrible actions like Bryan Kohberger is accused of performing, but still want to at least pass on the message of Christ to them. But author Catherine Ramsland. She famously has studied the BTK guy. She's written a lot of books about the psychology of it all. We know that author Sherilyn Cadle was able to visit and get in contact with Chris Watts, write him letters, and got his full confession from him after he first blamed his wife incorrectly for doing away with their children. Finally, Sherilyn Cadle had written to Chris Watts and got a full confession out of him, where at least he took the blame away. She got that confession before cops did. So maybe that's why I set up a video visit. I was surprised I was able to schedule to visit with Bryan Kohberger. You know, I'm not holding tons of hopes for it. It's something I've done before. Like I tried to set up one with Lori Vallow. We know the Doomsday Mom, and she would go in there and she would reject the video visit like any smart defendant should do, according to their lawyers. But I scheduled one for today. Today is Friday, January 20th. It's still pending as of this recording. We'll see if he literally goes in there and rejects it or not. I'm surprised it's even allowing people the ability to do that, and trying to message him was not working. But that's it. Really, I just wanted to give that update about Moscow police telling the Idaho Statesman reporter Angela Palermo in a November 21st email that both surviving roommates had been on the first floor. So that didn't come out of nowhere. That came directly from police, and I know police are allowed to lie. They are allowed to lie and, give poker face, and sometimes it might be better. They have to play their cards right in order to get the suspect. They have a suspect in custody. We'll see if they'll convene a grand jury. We'll see if this process can be sped up. So maybe we won't be looking at a preliminary hearing as late as June. Maybe things will move faster. Maybe they'll move slower. But the main gist is Angela Palermo's journalistic integrity is intact. She was only reporting what she was told. I apologize for making the assumption that she made an assumption. The other leaks we're getting, like from people, and we don't know who's leaking it. It said it's from an investigator. Now, that does not mean it's from a cop. Maybe it's a private investigator who has spoken as a source. But we know now that Bryan Kohberger visited the Mad Greek restaurant in Moscow at least twice in order to grab vegan pizza. And we know that Madison Mogen and Xana Kernodle were servers at that restaurant. So we don't know if they waited on Bryan, but we do know that it seems like kind of a small place. The food looks excellent. So they may have interacted, maybe not. We don't know if any of these Instagram accounts that purport to be Bryan's actually followed them, but allegedly he tried to message them. He tried to message the girls. So other cases I'm still keeping an eye on. State of Utah versus Jarrett Lysick. I watched that hearing this morning, so we look forward to oral arguments set for Wednesday, March 8th at 3 p.m. local Utah time. I'm really following the Anna Walsh case too, and once we heard all these questions that her husband, Brian Walsh, allegedly searched for on Google, like, can you still identify a body with the teeth knocked out? And it's just, they're so horrible. It gets to be too much. But anyway, I wanted to get this video out there now just to set the record straight. James 1, 2 through 3, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Thanks for watching.
I want to thank her for that video too, because that's very true. And a lot of it, I'm not saying, and we all know this, that there are people out there that do create the misinformation. We're not, well, the judge, we're not saying it doesn't exist, but one second here. Let's see here, 1 second. I'm getting a call from KibKitty. Are you there, KibKitty? Hey, give me 1 second. I have to switch the thing here. Hello?
Hi.
Can I wonder everybody can hear you. I don't know. Haven't done this call for a while. It's been a few days. Can everybody hear KibKitty?
Yeah.
How are you doing this evening?
Should I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. How
I'm
are you
good.
doing this evening?
Good.
Do you know a lot about that Alex Murdaugh case?
No.
No?
I haven't really followed that.
Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, they can hear you. Cool. Thank you, SRB. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious if anybody knows anything about that case, because I don't know much about the new one. I know about all the old stuff that took place, but yeah, I'm just wondering if anybody knows anything about the current stuff, because I'd definitely like to hear what anybody has to say about that too. How's your evening going?
I just saw when it was posted or when it came out at first, but I never followed it.
Yeah, I've been seeing it come up a lot, and even on the Crime Talk with Scott Reich, it's been coming up. But I know that there's so much to get into, and we were talking about Idaho 4 so much, and all
Right.
these other cases. I was like, yeah, there's no way that we're ever going to be able to cover that stuff. So, but now that it's starting to slow down, I think tomorrow night it'll be good. Maybe hop on early, do a long show tomorrow night for the whole Alex Murdaugh stuff, and maybe kind of dive into it, do like a 4.5 hour show about it. And my sports tomorrow. That's going to be fun too.
Yeah. Cowboys play tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, 5:30 Central. But I'll be doing my show with the true crime stuff. So, but I will be having the game up on the screen next to me. That's for sure. So I'll be watching the game as I'm doing my true crime stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'll be doing my sports show. I got a lot of different topics tomorrow morning, early afternoon for the sports, just to cover everything. So what do you think about this WSU mom's phone call stuff? What are you thinking about that?
I mean, I go back and forth. I've listened to her 3 times now. I watched the Drunk Turkey show last night with Truth and Transparency, and
Oh, you
she
did?
was on the panel. Yeah.
What was that show about?
Mostly the same stuff. They asked her a lot of questions. She talked a lot slower. You could understand her a lot better.
Oh, whoa. So Kim was on that show?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, I didn't know that. Shoot.
Yeah, she was on the whole time.
Oh, the whole time?
Yeah. And then she said
For
she
3
had
hours?
Yeah, she was on quite a while.
Whoa.
And then she accidentally said her daughter's name, which, I just got shivers when she did that. She didn't mean to.
Well,
It came out.
if you know the timestamp of where that takes place, because I'm going to check out that call then here tonight. I was under the assumption that Kim wasn't on there, and they were just
yeah, she was on there.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go into that tonight. So if you know the timestamp where she accidentally gives that information, if you can, or anybody in chat, can you let me know? That way, when we get to the
That's a long
part,
show.
that's cool. It's Saturday night. If we get to that part of the show, I want to make sure that I can mute it, so that way,
Right.
if it, you know what I'm saying, like, 'cause-
But anybody listening to it heard it,
yeah, and that's fine. I just want to make sure that I mute the part of the video where it's accidentally released, because I don't want somebody to come to this channel and be able to hear that information from my channel. That's all.
Right.
So if anybody has the timestamp of where that takes place on the Drunk Turkey Show's video or whatever, if you can do me a favor and let me know, that way I have it written down, a heads up. I'll be looking for that time on the video, and I'll make sure that I mute it on this end. That way we're all good there. But yeah, I didn't realize that she was on the show. So if she's on the show, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely
I watched the whole thing.
we're gonna go through it right after the phone call then. So if you would
She
like
did
to,
say that her and her daughter are fighting a lot because of her talking.
really,
Yeah,
wow, wow,
yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Because I'm sure her daughter's getting grief about it.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, you know what I'm
It
saying.
is.
I am sure. I am sure.
But she did tell Donnie from Drunk Turkey that she needed to talk to him privately after the show
Okay. That's
about information. But
well,
yeah,
I'm sure they'll be coming out with.
she throws out a lot of names that we've heard
Wow.
on the show last
Oh yeah,
night.
we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna watch that tonight. As soon as we're done, that's what I was gonna say. As soon as we're done with this phone call, I'm going to that video and we're playing it. Okay. We're
Okay.
gonna listen to it on this show because we've listened to all the other ones when they were, current. We're gonna be checking this one out too. You're more than welcome to, if there's a way that you can hop on the panel, and then we can, that way, I can show the video, but you can also still be up with the chat if you would like to. With the phone call, it's more the direct thing. We can't watch videos or look up news articles or anything like that. It's its own
How
screen.
do I see chat if I'm on panel?
You just have the show up on another device, and you have the chat up there. So, like with the open panel, right? Most people will use a telephone with like a pair of earbuds or something.
See, I only have my phone that I use.
Are you gonna
So
be in a room? When you go, if you're outside, it'll give kind of like a muffled effect because you'll get all these other sounds that get picked up in a phone feed. But if you're like in a room, like a living room or something, or a bedroom or something, even if you're on speaker, it should be okay. But you would just have to have the sound on your phone when you're in panel, because you'll be able to hear the videos and everything that we watch on the YouTube stream. You'll be able to hear that in the open panel. So you would just have to make sure that whatever device you're using to watch the show, you would just have to make sure the chat is up on that, but then have the volume turned down on that and just have the volume up on your phone.
okay.
But
I mean, I can put it up on my TV and just be on the phone on panel.
yeah, as long as you have it like at a lower volume, just so there's not a
I'll have the
echo
volume
effect or
off on
something.
the TV.
Okay, yeah, if you'd like to do that, you're more than welcome to hop on open panel, and then we could start watching the call right now, if you'd like.
It'll be
And
about 5 minutes before
oh,
I get on panel.
that's no problem. And anybody else too. Anybody else is more than welcome to join panel too
Yeah,
while we watch
somebody
this.
else join us.
Anybody
Please.
else is more than welcome to join panel while we watch this video, and we're gonna pause it. We'll discuss it from time to time. It is a Saturday night. It's gonna be a long show. It's completely fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about it. I definitely want to check out this call. We've done it every single time it's came out, and we're going to be doing it tonight. Thank you for the information, KibKitty, and thank you for the links, because you've given me a lot of the links when it comes to this stuff. So I want to say thank you for that, and I appreciate
You're
the help
welcome.
for that. So yeah.
I'm just not a person to have my own channel.
Oh, you're good.
That's not my comfort zone.
Yeah. No. You do a wonderful job, and I appreciate everything you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and switch to, and thank you for calling in, KibKitty. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and switch. We're gonna get to this this video that she was talking about here, And yeah, thank you for hopping in, KibKitty. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to have you on panel here while we go through this call. Again, if anybody would like to hop on panel, you're more than welcome. We're going to sit here, watch this call, commentate about it here and there. Or not a call, but what is it? Like a Zoom or something? But yeah, you're more than welcome to hop in and we can all discuss it together at the same time. You're more than welcome. All right, let me find this video here real quick. I know it's in my folder. Actually, I could probably get to it quicker off my library history because I did watch the first 10 minutes or so this morning when I was heading somewhere in the vehicle. Yeah, let me go to my library here real quick. I apologize. I did not really. I was under the assumption that she was not on the show. All right, here it is. So let me go to the Drunk Turkey Show link. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat. So if you're not subbing to them already, please do. A lot of great videos. We've checked their show out before. I got this link from a member in the chat. I appreciate you turning me onto this channel. And ever since this WSU mom stuff started breaking on their channel, we've been covering it. So I appreciate it. It's definitely created a lot of great brain stew for the podcast and for everybody here. And then on top of the brain, their vetting process, you know, whether we can trust it or not, that's everybody's own opinion. But the vetting process, to come out with the vetting video and such is definitely a bonus. So I do appreciate that from the Drunk Turkey Show and their group and the individuals that are part of that podcast. I do appreciate Truth and Transparency as well, because they've come out with a lot of great information. Their production of the videos is top notch, and they really make you think about stuff. So 2 tremendous channels in my opinion. And both of those are going to be taking place in this show tonight. So this is Drunk Turkey Show. And I'm going to go ahead and get to the video. Again, if you'd like to join Open Panel, you are more than welcome. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Give me 1 second. Okay, here is the show. I'll go ahead and put the link into the chat so you can have this as well. And I think we're just doing small talk at this point, and just kind of talking about, you know, the vetting and things like that. So I'll go ahead and put the link to the current video in the chat if you'd like to save it on your own playlist. Hello, KibKitty. Let's see.
Hi.
Link to the current video. There we go. Cool. Thank you for hopping in.
Sure. Yeah, they just talk for a while before the lady comes on.
Okay. So there's the link. We could sit here and chat for a minute here while we're getting ready for that. So she was on for quite a while, huh? Do you happen to know at what point, like, as we're watching it tonight, would you happen to know at one point if we're hearing it when it's about to get to where she says her daughter's information? Hello, Mama Bear. How are you doing this evening? I'm sorry, what?
I think it was maybe an hour and a half of her talking before it dropped out.
I'm sorry, it's a little muffly. It was.
I think it takes about an hour and a half or so before she says.
All right. So let me try and find. Let's see. We'll get that switched. Let me try and find where at here, because I'm sure it'll show her. I'll just kind of skim through the video here. Okay, that's where Kim enters the call then. Okay. So we'll skip ahead. So it's in the hour and 44 or so minute mark. Let me go ahead and like this real quick. And again, Drunk Turkey Show. Let me make sure I put that on the screen here while we're watching this. Justice, would you like to join the panel as well? We got KibKitty up here tonight. Would you like to hop in? Anybody else? Anybody else? You're more than welcome to hop in. Open panel before we start listening to this new call. Appreciate you. Mama Bear, if you'd like to hop in too, you're more than welcome. I'll go ahead and put the link to the open panel. Won't be taking any phone calls right now. Let me get rid of that. Won't be taking any phone calls right now, but we will be having an open panel as we listen to this conversation where Kim enters.
Can't be positive on anything. I'm looking at it, but.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, anybody, if you'd like to hop on the open panel, I can have 10 people. If you'd like to hop on open panel tonight, you're more than welcome. Just click on that link and hop on in, and we're going to listen to this together. We're going to pause it at different points, and we're going to continue to discuss it. And I probably will put it at 0.75 speed tonight, just to make sure that we can hear everything clearly. Hop on up, anybody. You're more than welcome.
Big Blue gets pretty drunk. They're taking shots.
Well, I did
for all
see
the
that
super
Truth and
chats.
Transparency. Oh, really? Oh, and
Yeah.
for people that are asking about memberships for my channel, I apologize. I'm not able to have memberships for my channel until I hit the 1,000 sub mark. I've already I've met 2 of the 4 requirements already. I'm on pace to knock out the 3rd out of the 4 requirements. I'm on pace to knock that out in probably about a month and a half. And then after that, the only thing that would be holding me back from memberships would be hitting the 1,000 subscriber mark. And that's the only thing I would have to knock out in order to get the memberships. It sucks because it would be kind of a cool feature for YouTube, for content creators like myself, to be able to reward channel members with a membership. So maybe in the future they might change that, but as of right now, the only way that you can really participate to help out the channel would just be the Cash App, and that's pretty much it until then. So I apologize. I would love to be able to have memberships and create emojis for everybody and have different features and members only streams and things like that. That would be an amazing thing to do, but unfortunately there's requirements and I haven't met all of them. So, and it'll probably be a while for that 1,000 sub, but that's okay. I enjoy every night and I enjoy every show. All right, so if anybody else wants to hop in panel, let me know in chat. You can go ahead and hop in at any point, even after we start this call. But I'm going to head to this part of the video here, and we're going to start checking out when WSU Mom hops in. Thank you for everybody for hanging out. I appreciate you hopping up here, KibKitty. Thank you. And we'll get going into this stream. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I can't.
I'm going to have to remove you because your echo's pretty bad, bro. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. So I just sent Kim the link over. Hopefully she'll be able to jump on. I told her she doesn't have to show her face or anything. Hopefully they'll show. Oh, she's already in.
Oh, instructions.
There. Welcome, Kim. How's it going? Nice to talk
Well,
to you
I'm going
again.
to stay off camera though, just
Oh,
just
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I understand.
Right. Hi. Thank you guys for coming. Hi, how are you? I really appreciate you. I have to tell you, you're very bright and insightful, and I think that both of you, right, Digging and Olivia too, is what's going to get this solved. Because, and I could be wrong, and I want to start out that way. I'm going to say that I'm not attacking anybody, and I don't want any student or family to think that I think that their kid did something wrong or they did something wrong. I think you're kids and missteps occur and it's your life. And we've just had this really unfortunate event. And if I don't say something as a human being, as a person on this planet and a mother, and God forbid it happens again, I just, it's not acceptable. We all have to say something. And I'm not the only one who knows something. And so if I'm wrong, I am happy to be wrong. I want to be wrong, actually. I don't want this to be as horrific as I feel like it is. So that's where I'm coming from. And it's not just about my kids. It's about all of these kids.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I think that
Okay. Just to respect their creators so I don't play the whole thing in its entirety, I'm going to go ahead and go back here because I feel like how she starts this call or video or whatever you call it is a great way for her not only to start the call, but also to remind everybody this is the source of this information, okay?
So I just sent Kim the link over. Hopefully she'll be able to jump on. I told her she doesn't have to show her.
And also, again, I am playing the playback speed at 0.75. So I'll put the link to the video up in chat. If you'd like to play it at full speed, you're more than welcome. And that way, if there's any questions or comments about that, then you can go ahead and play it at full speed and see for yourself here. Oh, there you are. You must have dropped.
I did. I was pushing buttons and I knocked myself out.
All right, you're good. We're just going to listen to what the mom says again.
Okay.
I think it's a good way to start the evening and
hopefully the show. Oh, she's already in.
For when it comes to this information.
Instructions.
There. Welcome, Kim. How's it going? Nice to talk
Well,
to you
I'm going
again.
to stay off camera though, just,
Oh,
Just
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I understand.
Right.
Hi,
Thank you
Kim.
guys for coming. Hi, how are you? I really appreciate you. I have to tell you,
thank
you're
you.
very bright and insightful. And I think that, well, both of you, right? Digging and Olivia too, is what's going to get this solved. Because,
Chronicles of
and I
Olivia
could be
is
wrong,
what
and I
she's
want to
talking
start
about,
out
the
that
interview
way.
she
I'm
had
going to
there.
say that I'm not attacking anybody, and I don't want any student or family to think that I think their kid did something wrong or they did something wrong. I think you're kids and missteps occur and it's your life. And we've just had this really unfortunate event. And if I don't say something as a human being, as a person on this planet, and a mother, and God forbid it happens again, I just, it's not acceptable. We all have to say something. And I'm not the only one who knows something. And so if I'm wrong, I am happy to be wrong. I want to be wrong, actually. I don't want this to be as horrific as I feel like it is. So that's where I'm coming from. And it's not just about my kids. It's about all of these kids.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I think
For
that
sure.
it's if you know something, you should say it, and I think that you should encourage the people, like whatever would make it be like hearsay for you to be like, hey, just tell them what you know, type of thing.
Right.
Lead by example. So I think that's great.
I think that's the only way we can do it with raising children is, and I'm happy to take that heat off of the girls in her sorority house. And I did call the FBI on the 13th. It might have been the 14th because it might have been late at night when we got home. So it could have been the 13th or the 14th, but it was right when I got home and got into range. We don't have very good range. Really, honestly, you only have about 2 hours of good range between Pullman and Seattle. So,
What service do you use?
Verizon.
Verizon. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of question marks about
Brian
a lot
had
of people have been
AT&T.
saying, yeah, Brian had AT&T. I think AT&T is the service around there that is the most strongest.
Yeah, and I know that the school does provide. So everybody but the kids in Greek or Greek live outs at Wazoo, they have Wi-Fi provided to them. So he actually doesn't even own his own Wi-Fi, so the police could get access to it, I believe. I think.
Well, Brian was on the university's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not really his. He doesn't own
Correct.
that. Right? That's
correct. They could. That's why actually they didn't make any there was no talk about the router because he didn't.
Again, I want to pause this to respect the content creator. Also, I want to appreciate the Drunk Turkey Show, Truth and Transparency, and also this Kim for participating in this call because it takes effort, desire, and strength on every one of their parts in order to do this kind of call, especially when it comes to the vetting of the information, her statements to what she said prior, and also everybody kind of holding each other accountable. Is there anything you want to add real quick while we have this pause, KibKitty?
No. I don't know. After watching this show last night, I just wish the mom wouldn't talk so much anymore.
Really?
I just think, especially towards the end of the show when she starts dropping all these names.
Okay.
People that we've heard before Koberger was arrested. Names are brought up, and I just don't want any harm to come to any of them. I don't know. I was just uncomfortable with it last night at the end of it.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, is it something you think we shouldn't watch?
I wouldn't suggest it because I don't want all those people's names out there again in the spotlight. But it's towards closer to the end of the show.
What's up, Allison Faye? Thank you for hopping in. If anybody would like to join the panel, you're more than welcome.
I don't know. I'm thinking
So you
about
don't-
maybe I should go through this show and not
Okay.
you show it.
And give me a heads
Go
up.
through the show. Yeah, so I can
Okay.
give you a heads
Give
up.
me a heads up. Okay, I appreciate that. Because I do want to
But-
check this out, and we have checked out the others, so I definitely feel like this is something that should be, displayed as well.
She
but-
dropped a lot more stuff last night, and I would rather go through it tomorrow morning and mark all the timestamps of what shouldn't be heard.
So, okay, when you hear the first name, is that when it starts happening? Is there, because if I don't go through this tonight, this is probably going to be we probably won't even go through this until Wednesday night.
I mean, you're probably okay for a little while tonight. Just when it.
Well, okay, since you're in panel, would you?
I
When
mean, I don't know.
we get to that, since you're in panel, when we get to that point, would you be able to say, "Hey, this is where we're at," kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on the timestamps on when it comes
No,
up.
I'm not. No, while we're listening to it tonight, when you're hearing it, would you be able to? While we're
I can try.
Okay.
I can try.
Okay, and
I
if
just
I
didn't
start
like
hearing
hearing
some
all
stuff,
those names.
yeah, I wouldn't either. But I definitely want to hear the stuff that happens before.
Okay.
So, if you recognize the spot in the call where that comes up, just give me a heads up. Otherwise, I will probably have the same feeling that you got when you got to that point when you watched it, and I'll have my own recognition of, okay, this is probably the point that she was talking about. So,
Okay.
this is a hour and 20-minute conversation, I imagine. So it's later on in the conversation that this stuff took place.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're only a couple minutes in, so I'm
Okay.
sure I will have the same feeling, and everybody in chat will too. And if anybody would like to join the panel, you're more than welcome. Oh, you're good. Thank
I
you.
think
Allison.
it's after. I think it's after Truth and Transparency asked her 22 questions.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
thinking
the
it's right
22
after
questions.
that, but I mean it's close.
Okay. Well, thank you. That when I hear that, I will know, and then we can all go through the 22 questions on our own, and then we can have that discussion when it comes to that part of it, and we won't watch it because tomorrow night I'm going to be doing an Alex Murdaugh show tomorrow night. It'll pretty much be for Alex Murdaugh case unless there's something breaking coming out. Wednesday night is going to be the recap of the first conversation, the second conversation, and this conversation. So Wednesday night show is going to be focused on the WSU moms calls, all three of them. We're going to go through all three of those and then have a discussion after that. And then Tuesday night will be a sports show. So we'll be doing sports on Tuesday. We won't be doing any true crime on Tuesday. So Wednesday night will be conversation 1, 2, and 3, and then a chat after. And tomorrow night we're going to be going into Alex Murdaugh. So if you know anything about this current Alex Murdaugh case, please hop in tomorrow night and create this brain stew with us. We're going to go ahead and get back to this call. And thank you for the heads up, KibKitty. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have one.
Yes, they don't have one around. In fact, my son's room had, he lived in a single, and he had the whole system was in his room. It's like, oh, score.
Yeah.
I have quick Wi-Fi, right? So it's very rough around there. It's, it's agricultural land. They're great.
Hello,
schools and
Valerie. Thank you
campuses.
for
The
hopping in
teachers
tonight. If you'd like to
I
hop
have
up, you're more than
no
welcome as well.
complaints about anything other than the fact
We're going through this
that
call from last
nobody
night.
looks at Greek Row hard enough to control it, and it's out of control, and kids are getting hurt, and they're exposed. I don't think these girls invited this at all. I think it happened to them. I think they were naive and trusting, and I think they're really kind. I think they're my daughter. She's super kind, right? She'll stop and she'll pick you up if you've fallen down or whatever. I mean, that's how these kids are on the campuses. They trust. And
I also think that, like, when you have a house like that they had, and they had a bunch of friends, that's not a secret. They had a bunch of friends.
Right, sure.
You don't realize that, like, what your friends could possibly be doing at your house. You know what I mean? Like, if you have no idea what your friends could be possibly doing. Like, if you actually watch some of the body cams that I put out, were some of the girls, when they were walking out, they were asked, like, whose house is this? And they're like, now either they were like lying because they didn't want to say whose house it was, or they legit on September 1st, if you think about it, they would have just been in school for a couple weeks. Well, we actually don't know whose house it is. You know what I mean? We were just told to, come here. We're having a pregame or whatever.
Right.
And when you think about that actually is like, think about when you were in college. I mean, I know when I was in college, I didn't know whose house I was going to. I could tell you, I'm going to the baseball party. I'm going to a baseball party, or I'm going to the soccer house. But I would say, like,
and I'm definitely not answering the door if the police are there, because I'm not getting an MIP, and they know this, these kids, right? And so I think it's normal behavior, and that's stuff that those friendships are built on, right? There's my daughter's her house, and I can't say what the name of it, but it's a name I would rather it not be called. But it's, you know what? She wanted to live there. She loves it there.
First of all, can I say hi, Kim?
Hi. Oh, I love you. You are just like a giant bear. And the drunker you get, the sweeter you get. So keep on going, my friend.
Hey, I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Buddy. Take 2 aspirin, right?
Yeah.
So
my
cute.
girlfriend says, I'm a big bear.
Yeah.
I'm a big bear.
You know what? There's a lot of greatness in being a big bear. I'll just do that. That's a good thing from.
I cannot drink it. Most people in this fucking world, and I love you.
I love you too, and
he thinks he can.
Drink me.
Oh my God, Blue!
I know I can.
So sweet.
Look.
I know you can.
For God, look.
Let me see that passion fruit.
The vodka's gone. I drank a whole bottle of vodka for you. Hope y'all enjoyed me.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for our boy Blue.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my, really very sweet, very funny. And this is such a hard time, and and I will be honest with you, my daughter is less than pleased with me, and I don't care. I mean, we'll get over it, or she will, or whatever, but they're not afraid because there's a guy in jail. And what if it's not? And I'm not, before I get the hate, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, what if they got the wrong guy?
Right.
We don't know.
Or what if they don't have everybody? You know?
They don't, and that's my thing too. This is so what I'm allowed to share. Maybe I'm not, and I really at this point don't care. Throw my ass in jail. What are they gonna do, right? I'm a
Sure,
mom.
hey, exercise your First Amendment. Go ahead.
Right.
You're not gagged.
There are two crimes that were committed, and I think it's just by chance. I think the fact I don't necessarily know that Kaylee was the target. I actually think she wasn't the target. I think she was just like passionately by somebody, and that's why he took it out on her. But I think that maybe the intent was a different person. But there's a fraternity house there, and I'm gonna say it, guys, because I've said it to you on social media, so I'm gonna just say it out loud. If you're a Sigma Chi and you go to U of I, collectively get your friends together, protect yourselves, and go and tell them what happened. That's what I'm telling you.
One thing. I want to add one thing.
Yeah.
This is the real Kim. You can't make up her voice. She has that voice. You can't make it up.
Oh my
This
God.
is her, guys.
I know my cousins have all.
I know.
This is the real her. It
Like,
it
let's
ain't
get
no
to the
fakes.
info, you know?
It ain't no Collins. This is her, guys.
You know what? And I want to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize to everybody. I don't want Dylan to be hurt. I think they were
I'm keeping my ear out
at
for
all.
that
I mean, a
Kitty.
misstep
Thank
is a
you.
misstep. If she just didn't know, if she saw some, I think they were going to be roughed up. I think when, okay, what I think, my belief is that, and it could be just my mom instinct, but I have 7 kids. We're all pretty good, so I think I have instinct there. And I think that they were done. That Kaylee didn't want to do this. Maddie didn't want to do this. Anna wanted nothing to do with this. I think that there was a neighbor who likely is the one who called 911, who was doing it the year before when his girlfriend lived in the house and selling out of that house. And I believe the house was the target and the girls didn't want any part of it. It was the first semester, if you think about it, that they were all living collectively together. So I think that they were sucked into something they didn't know was in front of them by somebody who they trusted. They trusted people. Nobody ever hurt them before. It's like my kids. My kids don't know what is like a lot of these kids.
Kim, I just want to say, in real life, you don't know who to trust, babe. You don't know who to trust. Everybody will stab you in the back.
Wait, can I ask you?
I hate that though. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, because I did some deep digging into
Is this that
the
part,
people that had
KibKitty?
been living there the year before,
Mhm.
because people
Oh,
were really
good.
confused about whose actually house it was and like how that all came about. Maddie lived with a group of girls from the Pi Phi,
correct.
Yeah. So Maddie actually lived there her junior year with a group of people. And then over the summer, when Maddie went, she went and actually lived with her boyfriend in Boise for the summer.
Right.
And she sublet, quote unquote, her room, as well as one of the other girls sublet her room to Dylan. And these girls started moving in like during the summer. And you know how like you can, instead of me coming and taking over and being put on the lease, I just pay you, I give you your deposit, you know, and then when I move out, I'll get the deposit, you know what I mean? You'll give it back to me, like versus like us putting down names. It's just like a quicker thing. And then like, let's say that
You're
scared.
exactly right.
Yeah, let's
And
say
it's
that
a really bad policy, but they do it. And I'm a real estate broker. They do it. It's
Yeah.
a really bad plan.
But
and
also,
they
let's
just
say
roll
that
it
I'm
over.
nervous. Let's say that I'm nervous. Like, oh my God, I have a past. Like maybe they won't accept me because I have a felony. And I'm not saying that anybody does, but like,
yeah,
think
right.
about
I
that.
hear you. Sure.
That's
I
an
never even
interesting
thought of-
question.
Gosh,
Truth
I
and
never even
transparency
considered
brings
that
up.
actually, because they're young, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And-
who maybe they have something that is like, oh my
If that's
God,
their
like
practice,
They're all
I
young.
don't want
They're
them to
young.
go
run a
ahead and
background
pause it
check
real
on
quick.
me.
Right.
If that's their practice and how that, who do you like? If people are on leases and then they're subleasing their rooms to other people, individuals or students, maybe that's why that 38-year-old person that was living with students was able to do so. And she brings up a really good question. This is Lana from Truth and Transparency, I believe. She brings up a good question. How do you know that the people that are subleasing these rooms do not have felonies, have not committed previous crimes, have not been in the justice system to warn even the students that's like almost allowing, I mean, who knows? It could be a predator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's-
Like you could have a predator living on campus and you with that kind of practice and you wouldn't even know because they don't have to right?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So she brings up a really good question and I appreciate that. Anything you want to say before I continue on, KibKitty? If anybody would like to join panel, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, I just want to say thank you, Pam. It's not easy being on panel.
And I appreciate it, KibKitty. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your brains too, and your information too.
Oh, you're welcome.
And right. And the thing is, and somebody's gonna, it's like a pyramid scheme kind of, because eventually that landlord's gonna sell that property and somebody's gonna have to pay the damage deposit, and it's gonna be way more than $400 somebody paid in 1976.
I just want to let you know, this is the real Kim. I know.
Oh my God.
I love you, Blue.
We all guys think it's nothing.
I don't even pay attention to the trolls anymore. New word for 2023.
I've been taking
So-
notes too,
I
so
did
there's stuff we will go over Wednesday
There was
night.
there's a lot of people asking who's Kim and whatnot. So Kim is the person that we spoke to a week ago maybe now, where
Yeah, I think it was
she came on
Saturday
the
when we
phone,
watched that
stated
first
she
one.
had two kids who were attending WSU and had some possible information based on the what her kids may know. And as far as vetting her, what I did was she had given me names of certain people that were involved. And one of them was a athlete at the University of Idaho. Chronicles of Olivia came out, said it was a football player. I will say that is accurate. It was a football player.
Yeah, you didn't say that. You didn't tell what sport he was in, but she
Right,
did,
right,
and that's
right.
okay too. I mean,
Right. I didn't
step
want to
up
say
too.
the sport, but she put it
Okay.
out there already. So it is what it is. So it was a football
I already
player.
made a call to the AD anyway to
Hey,
have
Kim.
talk
Kim.
to.
Right.
Yes, love.
I want to thank you very much for coming on the show.
Anytime, buddy.
Tonight,
Anytime.
tonight's the show where I got to drink and I got to enjoy myself, and
my
everybody out
God.
there, there's 3,000 of y'all out there.
It's a lot. I think it's viral.
This is me
Donnie's
on a
embarrassed.
free day, no work. I'm taking a shot for y'all. Look, cheers, my friends.
Oh my God.
There's no.
He's gonna
There's no
screen
cup,
pretty soon.
no bottle. This bottle, you know. Cheers, cheers, my friends. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
Lena, thank you very much for being on the show. My friend,
You're welcome. I will do it anytime. I don't know if I never have more information than I have right now.
I want to see somebody outdrink me.
What?
Oh, dude, I think it's already happened tonight, bro.
I would win. I think you could go to camp. I think.
All right. Is there any more to this, KibKitty? Do you know, or is this kind
There
of?
is. I mean,
There is. Okay.
he ends up
I'm
taking
just-
him out of the screen.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm just wondering what's going on. That's all.
You could go to one of the fraternity houses and you would win that bet.
Salud, my friends. Salud.
Salute, right?
Salute.
Oh yes.
You could be on my beer Olympic team any day.
Yeah. So
I
Drink
need
the
to
bottle.
know before I hang up with you. What are your sports, lady?
I played golf and basketball.
Golf and basketball. Oh, you are a rock
nice.
star.
My
I
two
knew
favorite
you were a
sports.
baller. I am all ballers.
My two favorite
But
sports.
I didn't pick golf.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I bet you.
I just want to pause this again. I just want to say I can't wait, and it'll be part of the sports podcast that I do. But I can't wait to do some live streaming of me actually going golfing. It's going to be so much fun. I'm excited to do that starting this spring.
Really good. What position in basketball?
I was a point guard.
A true point guard.
Yeah.
Oh,
I could shoot the
girl,
rock
that's-
though.
You
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, that's
oh,
the only
right,
reason I
you-
got a scholarship.
Good for you.
You know, my girlfriend's daughter is a guard, and I've been giving her pointers, and
Right.
you know, that's all I can do. That's all
I
I
married
handling
a
and
6'5" man, and I'm 5'4" nothing, and unfortunately he
Salud,
takes
my
after
friend.
his mother,
Salud.
so he honed his 3-pointer, and he's a killer. So,
Yep.
but he's not the tallest tree out there, but he shoots, he runs, he runs hard, right? Good for you.
Shoot the rock from like 5, just you want to be able to shoot the rock from about 2 to 3 good steps off the 3-point
Yeah,
line.
right.
You want to have that range, spread the defense
Right.
out.
I can drop bombs from the 3-point line.
I will tell you, my
I
right.
can drop
Spread that
bombs.
defense.
Yes, right, and he's thrown a few from mid court that have hit it for a buzzer beater.
I
which
can
is like
hit
best thing on
for
the
bombs. I can hit them.
You can hit them. I
can
just
hit 'em.
rebound.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a gymnast. I rebound. I just run. After
Yeah.
the-
No, I hit the 3-point bomb every time.
the detective's gonna rein us back in because we're getting off topic.
Oh God.
So thank you for everybody coming on the show.
Anytime, my friend.
And
Thank you
and
for
you know what?
paying attention.
That bottle of vodka didn't do shit to me.
I think it did, bro. I think
I
it
think
did.
you'll say differently tomorrow
I
morning.
can hit a bar tonight. I can hit a bar tonight. It's burning 9:30 in the fucking PM, bro.
Oh, you're in our time zone.
Yeah.
You're in my time zone.
Oh, I'm in your. I am in your. I'm in your phone call. Yes,
We're
I
in big
am.
blue zone.
I mean,
right
it's
now.
always good to have
Check it out.
comedy
Already.
during
Already,
serious
sweetie.
discussions. You know.
I can go have another 20 more drinks. Anybody want to come out with me?
Oh,
No.
no.
I'm good
I
for
see.
another
Stay
2
home,
more
brother.
hours.
Stay home. Stay home, brother.
Yeah, no driving. Where are your keys?
You know,
I'm just waiting to see if there's anything more relevant. I was taking a bunch of notes over this part in this conversation, so I'm just trying to see if there's any more notes to take, and then after that we'll be going over. What's that?
You can probably fast forward a little bit. Get past this.
Yeah, I just
Are
want to
you
make
done?
sure I don't miss anything that might come up in the general conversation. You know what I mean? I'm not really
Oh, okay.
paying attention to this part. I'm kind of going through my notes from the earlier discussions and such. I just want to make sure I don't miss something that might be thrown up against the wall, during comedy or
Right.
whatever. But yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see if there's any other notes I should take. And then I'm going to go through all three of the notes that I have for all three calls, and we'll be going over that on Wednesday night. So Wednesday night's going to be a dedicated show when it comes to all of this stuff that's being talked about. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a dedicated show with the Alex Murdaugh case. I can't wait for that. I'm going to go ahead and get on at 6 o'clock Central tomorrow for an early show so I can make sure I get everything. We have a lot of content tomorrow. And again, I'm going to be doing my sports show tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, and I'm excited. And I'll be putting up a new schedule for from here on out. We'll have a new schedule. So I want to thank everybody for your chat, your conversation, your participation. KibKitty, thank you again for being up here in open panel. And I want to thank
You're
everybody
welcome.
in chat that's saying the beautiful words about KibKitty. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I know she does
Right.
too.
Thank you, though.
I don't drive.
Good
I drink.
boy. Yes, not even
No.
one, not even a sip. That's so cool.
No.
Which,
I
can I
drink.
just say that about the kids? They called for a ride. Like, they're not out there driving and drinking and driving. So their cars to be lined up perfectly like that. Well, that's where they parked them probably on Monday. Right? Because they're usually walking to class, because typically I know at Wazoo they get tickets. I don't even let my kids have their car to school because it's a nightmare. It's a pain. I had a kid who went to UW. He's in DC now, but he went to the UW, and I had $780 worth of tickets in a year. Like, you kids are
What?
not taking their parking tickets.
What? Damn,
And
I'm
you can't
sorry.
re-register your tag.
Yeah, I would have slapped my kid by one ticket, not two. One.
Well, he gets paid nothing. He's got a double major and a minor, and he gets paid nothing to work in Congress.
I
So
know.
I'm
You know,
just going to get back.
Kids are gonna be kids, Kim.
Yeah, they're going to be kids. Kids are going to, and they're going to misstep. And these kids
They're gonna
are
be kids.
beautiful kids.
You know,
And we're stuck with garbage on the streets because these kids are gone.
You know what? Thank you, Kim, for coming on. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for all the information you gave us.
You're welcome.
And this is the real Kim, guys. This isn't the fake Kim. This is the real Kim.
Oh my God.
I know her voice.
I know. What is that? It's like the
The
fourth
world
one.
apparently
Fourth?
does now.
Years Kim keep that accent from 10 miles away. I just want to say thank you.
I think I need elocution school, like, My Fair Lady or Big Malian. I think I need to go to her instructor. What is it? The T? I keep trying to say it slowly, but I can't. So I'm working on it.
Kim, I'm out of liquor. What should I do?
Hey Kim, can I ask you a question?
You absolutely may.
I have a feeling this might be where this point you're talking about, KibKitty.
So-
I'm gonna wait and see.
When your daughter, mentioned this to you, and you were like, "Hey, what time did this all happen?" And she tells you the time, and then more things start happening. Were you just like, "Hey, hon, like that's not what they're saying"? Did you like
What
have
I
a heart to heart with her, or like?
Well, so nobody was saying anything at the moment because I heard about it on the 13th, and I'm like, why did it call? So my conversation with my daughter was from the 13th until Thanksgiving, when she got home for Thanksgiving break, was why did they call the police? Like, I just could not get my head around why didn't like 911, you guys we teach, they know how to They have a whole plan for setting up
Kim,
against a shooter.
they know how to stop, drop, and roll, but 911 is something different.
Well, the thing was, I just could not get my head around it. I'm like, hey. She goes, well, I don't know, Mom. It was just a party house, so it always happened. I'm like, Peyton, that doesn't make sense. The horrificness of this crime. And I don't think she knew. I don't think it registered.
Wait. Actually, that makes sense to me because she said that this always happens. So hold on one second. Let me ask you this. Because did they first think somebody like overdosed or no?
No.
That was never a thing.
That is not what okay, so no, that is not what no. Because when Peyton came down.
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry.
Let's,
okay.
So when she
let's
came
start
down.
off from, let's start off.
Come on, YouTube. Jeez, I hit pause like 5 seconds to go. Holy crap. Yeah, I had
Sorry.
a feeling that. No, you're good. I had that feeling, but I was trying to pause it, and it's being like a stupid delay tonight the whole time. So, no, I think that's the part where that conversation starts.
Yeah.
So
sorry about that. It was sooner than I thought.
No, we're good. No. I had the same feeling too. It was just a 5-second delay from me clicking the frickin' pause till it actually happened. So, no, we're good. I felt it too. Man. Well, I did get some notes from that. I did put the timestamp of the conversation. So when we go over all this on Wednesday night, I'll just be going from the 153 mark. It's probably about maybe a 15-minute conversation I'm probably just going to use for that night. What I'm going to do is because I'm going to have some time on Monday night. I'm going to be off on Monday night. Monday night, I'm going to go ahead and put some clips together of just those conversations. So that way it's going to be 3 snippets of its own. And then that way I can just go from one to the next and it's going to have all of the regular chatter cut out. It's going to be just nothing but the information when it comes to these 3 conversations. So I'm going to go ahead and do that Monday night. Since I'm going to have Monday night off, I'll go ahead and get it all snipped out, have a easy, quick, informative, clip of everything spliced up and cut out, and then we can go ahead and go over all this on Wednesday night. So
yeah, I mean, if anybody else wants to listen to that show to hear the rest of it and all the names that are dropped,
yeah, I'm definitely I'll put the link into the chat if you'd like the link for the video, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out after the show. I'm going to be seeing what's said because I do want to hear it. I'm going to take separate notes on that, but if you feel it's it makes you uncomfortable, like you stated, it's probably going to make me uncomfortable, and so I appreciate the heads up, KibKitty. Thank you for that, and I'm just going to go ahead and listen to it, and then if there's something I can go ahead and give redacted versions and such and whatever, and maybe that's something I can put together Monday night for Wednesday night show. Maybe that's another thing I could do, is like a redacted version of the remainder of the conversation.
Right. Yeah.
I think that'd be neat. So we'll get on all that on Wednesday.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
let me.
I might hop on chat if you don't mind.
No, you're good. Thank you so much for hopping up here. Do you
You're
have
welcome.
a Twitter? Do you have a Twitter?
I think I need to sign up for Twitter.
Yeah, if you need to sign up, whenever you do make one, just go ahead and follow me And then what I can do is I can take the link for your Twitter and share it with everybody. And then maybe they can, because I'm telling you, it's great for true crime. It's great for updates. It's great for sports. It's great for everything. I totally use it on my sports, not only my true crime, but my sports too. It's a great tool to have breaking news and updates and information that you can share, and it's just a really great tool. I never used it until I started doing this podcast a couple months ago, and I don't know why I didn't use it before, because it is an amazing tool. So whenever you do get Twitter set up, just go ahead and follow me, and then I can just get the link of your Twitter set up and post it on the chat, and then whoever does have a Twitter, they can go ahead and follow you, and you can follow them, and you guys can share information as well. You come out with a lot of great information, and I think you'll enjoy Twitter, and it'll be a great way for you to display the information that you find as well. All you have to do is, if you find something from another source, just go ahead and like it or heart it, and then retweet it, and whatever you retweet will show up on your personal Twitter profile. So whatever information you do find out there on Twitter, all you have to do is retweet it, and it shows up on your personal profile, and then we can just go to your page, and I can credit your sourcing as well, because you do have a lot of great source material that you do for the show, and it's just another way to highlight that.
Okay. All right. I'm
Well,
going to
thank you
get
so
off
much.
and get in chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate you hanging out
You're
in the chat
welcome.
after the show too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
See you in a
look at
minute.
that, Pam. See you too. Thank you, KibKitty. Look at that. That's so sweet, Pam. I like that horn emoji. That is neat. Yeah, thank you so much, KibKitty. I appreciate it. If anybody else would like to hop on, you're more than welcome to hop on. We're done watching this video, so if you'd like to call, if you're more comfortable calling the show, you're more than welcome to. 812-250-8484. And if I miss your call, just let me know. It works here and there. So if I do miss your call and it goes to voicemail, just let me know in the chat, and I'll go ahead and get to the phone call, and I'll call you back. My number will show up when I do call you back as well. It will not show up as an unlisted or unavailable number. All right, so let me see if there's anything on the breaking, and then we'll go through some of the other videos, and then we'll go ahead and end the show for the evening. I'll go ahead and it's going to be a little bit longer one tonight. I'm going to go past the 10 o'clock mark. Already have Central, but we're still going to be going on a little bit later tonight. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out, and I appreciate it. And definitely come hang out in the sports show tomorrow. It's going to be fun. I got a lot of different stuff, new stuff, old stuff. All right, I'm not seeing anything on the breaking, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the show folder, and we'll go through some of these other videos I haven't got to. Yes, well done, KibKitty. Thank you so much for hopping on. Definitely come hang out tomorrow in the sports show. It's going to be fun. Let me know stuff you want to search too. If there's old classic games you want us to check out, just let me know. I already went through all my sourcing. I got my sources. I can get new stuff, old stuff. We're good to go. The sports show will be in full effect. And And I love the flowers. I love all the emojis you guys put out there. Thank you so much. It's like a cartoon in chat. Now, as I was listening, because my mind always thinks, about 20 million things at the same time. As we were watching this show, I had an idea about my coffee light, okay? Because this is what it's supposed to look like on my wall. And unfortunately, it's too bright. It does not have a brightness setting. So therefore, I have to think about another way. And this is what I came up with. At Walmart, I can get window tint that comes in strips, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that window tint, buy the strip window tint. I'm going to lay the window tint, squeegee it over, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife and strategically cut so it's just the window tint will be covering the neon, and therefore that will darken up my light that's on the wall, and it should not look fuzzy after that. So from now on, you will be able to see the coffee light. That's just my idea. My mind it thinks about 20 million things at the same time, and as I'm taking notes, I just had that idea. So hopefully we will be able to see the coffee light in its true form on tomorrow night's show. Fingers crossed. It'll probably be in between my sports show and my true crime, but I don't know. I might get a wild hair up my ass in the morning and head over there and go pick it up. You know what I should start doing? I have Walmart, because I'm going to go to Walmart to get it. I should set up my Walmart thing, and I should just go park in the parking spot and have the person come bring it to me from now on. I think that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll just look for the window tint on the Walmart app, set it up, get the window tint on the Walmart app, and then have it delivered to my car in one of those parking spots. I think that's a plan. Because I definitely, thank you for just listening, Valerie. Oh, that's a cool new icon pic. I just wish you would stop talking so much. Yes. Well, I thank you, KibKitty. Seriously, thank you for the heads up, because I would have not even known about it. So seriously, I appreciate you so much. Your links, your information, your conversation, the panel, the telephone call, all that stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then the heads up when it came to making sure that, we didn't put stuff out there that shouldn't be out there. Thank you so much. What's up, Cassie? How you doing tonight? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You gonna be hopping into that sports show tomorrow, Cassie? We'll be talking sports. Unfortunately, my Cowboys game's going to be going on during my true crime podcast, but that's all right. Like I said, my mind thinks about 20 million things at once. I'm going to have a separate screen up watching the game, and you're more than welcome to post the scores in the chat while we're talking true crime. But yeah, I'm going to be definitely doing that and doing this. We're going to be going through the Alex Murdaugh case tomorrow night. So it's not going to be a case update show. It's going to be about the Alex Murdaugh trial. We got a lot of content with that tomorrow night, brand new, and some old stuff. And we're going to definitely be going into that. Wednesday night, I know I said it a few times already, but Wednesday night we'll be going into the 3 phone calls. And since I'm going to have Monday off, I'm going to be putting together snippets of just information in the shortened form, but from the source. And then we're going to have a discussion about that after that. That's for Wednesday's show. I'll be off on Monday. Tuesday night will be a sports show. and then we'll get back to true crime on Wednesday. So just to let everybody know, this is what I'm going to be coming up with. I'll be putting the schedule up in the intro to my videos starting tomorrow. I'm gonna Sundays during the late morning, early afternoon will be sports. Sunday nights will be true crime. Mondays I will have off. Tuesdays will be the sports podcast. Wednesdays will be the true crime podcast. Thursdays will be the sports podcast. Fridays will be the true crime podcast. Saturdays I will be off, but if those will be days that I will be creating content for the channel, creating updates for the channel. And also, those will be bonus streams for whatever I might have missed throughout the week, whether it's sports or true crime. For whatever I did miss throughout the week, I might do a bonus stream on Saturdays, but that I'm just gonna say it's gonna the first couple I'm probably gonna be focusing a lot on getting a lot of the channel. I made a short video with the body cam with the Walmart, Evansville Walmart shooting that took place. I went ahead and had some time today to make something that I'm going to start making more of for the channel, because I want your guys' brain stew to be showcased as well. So I'm going to make new videos, things like that, backgrounds, updates to the channel, information, things like that. What time are you doing your sports? I'm going to shoot for tomorrow I'm going to get on at 6 o'clock Central tomorrow for the Alex Murdaugh trial. That's probably going to be about a 4-hour stream, 4 to 4.5 hours. There's a lot of new stuff to go over tomorrow, probably 2.5 to 3 hours of content there alone. And then some older stuff that we're going to go through. And then we can have a discussion or whatever. Tomorrow I'm thinking for the sports, it'll probably be around 10:30, 11 Central, but it might be a little earlier than that, because I'm probably going to do about 2 to 3 hours of my sports podcast. So it's going to be, I'm still trying to think of like a great time to do the sports podcast where that allows me enough time and then to be prepared for. So I'm thinking, for the nightly podcast for the true crime, because you're going to get with the schedule that I have set up. Thank you, Allison. I think I need to do that Walmart app to get this window tint to make this coffee sign show a little better on the wall. I think I'm going to do that Walmart app and just have them come take it out to me in the parking lot. Oh, you're good too. I did a ton of sleeping today, but yeah, I don't know. It's the Sunday late morning, early afternoon. It's still gonna be a trial, but when it comes to Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, that's 7 o'clock every night sports show. I'll still be, when I am on the weekdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it'll be 7 o'clock Central like it always has been. The evening streams on Sunday will be 7 o'clock Central like always, but tomorrow I'm doing a special, so it's going to be a little bit earlier because I have a lot of content. So because of the amount of content that I have for tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and make it a 6 o'clock Central show, just to make sure that I can cover everything and it's not too late for everybody, because I know most people are on East Coast, and I want to make sure that you guys don't have to stay up crazy late in order to enjoy the podcast as well. Yeah, it'll pretty much be the same time. It's just the Sunday morning shows, that's where the trial's still going to happen. And okay, does it need to be 10:30? Can it be 11? What about noon? Just different things like that. So that's the only thing that's still going to be, kind of a trial or whatever. But I'm going to focus on at least 11 a.m. for sure. 11 to 2 I think would be a great time. 11 to 2 Central would be a great time to be able to cover sports, have a sports show, but not let it affect anybody's major sports that they do like to take on and partake in personally. So with the Cowboys game that I did the other night, I felt bad because I did want to talk more about other sports, but it had to be focused on the game. So with the sports show, I just want to make sure that we can cover everything. And if somebody has something they want to send me, we can cover that too. It's about everything. It's about everything. Everything sports. Old stuff, new stuff. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait to showcase it more tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Alex Murdaugh tomorrow night. That's going to be an interesting one. All right, we're going to go over some other videos here. I'm just kind of scroll through everything and see what we got. Florida woman. We watched that earlier. If anybody doesn't know, when it comes to, there's a new case out there. It's Elliot Blair. Takes place in Mexico, and it's kind of crazy right here. New details in investigation of death of American tourist while vacation in Mexico. I do want to play this again. I know we played it in the beginning of the stream, but I do want to play this again because I feel like we need to start talking about this case a lot more coming up in the future streams when it comes to true crime, because there's something really crazy going on here. You'll hear exactly how crazy it is, and we definitely need to highlight this case. So I'm going to play this one more time, and then we're going to go through some of these other videos here real quick before I end the evening. Here is the video. I'm going to put the link to the video in chat so you can go ahead and watch it after the show, and you can kind of go over it a few times and hear what they're saying. I mean, this is crazy. This definitely needs to be investigated a lot more by different individuals because it's not cool. Let me get to chat real quick. One second.
This morning.
Sorry, I've been missing it. And again, all suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. All views, opinions, and any comments made on this podcast should be considered speculation. Thank you, Bautismo. That's going to be popping out all the time from here on out. And I hope you can, but if you need to sleep, get to sleep, Shoot, I slept like crazy today because I needed it. It's a long week working all this overtime. Yes, we have a new schedule coming out. New schedule allows me to have some time off personal, and it allows me to do different things and updates for the channel because I want you guys to be showcased as well when it comes to your brains too. I know, Allison, it is crazy. Get that sleep. Get to sleep. Got stuck and cut. Oh, wow. Are you serious? That's crazy. I don't know. I'm not going. Since I'm in. Yeah, I hear you. All right. Yeah, check this out. I'm going to put the link to the video in the chat here so you can have it for yourself.
Morning, shocking new details from the family of Elliot Blair, found dead while vacationing in Baja California, Mexico. Blair, a prominent American public defender from California, and his wife, Kim, were celebrating their one-year anniversary at the Las Rocas Resort when the Blair family's lawyer says she was awoken by resort staff in her room.
The main investigating officer walks over from Ellie's body, looks at Kim, and tells Kim through the interpreter that there's a bullet hole in Elliot's head.
This bombshell claim adding to a series of conflicting reports between the Blair family and the Mexican officials. Mexican authorities say the 33 fell from the third floor balcony of this hotel room, calling fortunate accident. Suspecting foul play, insisting he was the victim of a brutal crime. This is ABC News in the 911 calls of that night. At 12:50 a.m., the resort calls to report, quote, a person who apparently suffered a fall, finding him lying and has blood, suggesting it was a possible fall from a balcony. 20 minutes later, the paramedics arrive on the scene, saying Blair had no vital signs. 5 minutes after that, reporting there were no signs of violence.
En un primer momento, el día 14
The Attorney General of Baja California State, in his reports, the amount of alcohol found in Blair's body was considerable. His family now hiring a prosecutor and are desperate to bring his body home so they can conduct their own autopsy.
At this point, the facts continue to not fit. Nothing fits.
Now, we understand that Elliot Blair's body has been released to the family, but it is still at a funeral home in Tijuana, and bringing him home could take days.
Nothing does
Lama
fit.
Hassan, ABC News, London.
That's the problem. Nothing does fit when it comes to that. So we definitely will be going over that case in upcoming shows for damn sure. Because that's not cool, especially when you listen to that and in the beginning it talks about a bullet in the head and then it talks about a fall. I hope they're able to get a private investigator. Good night, KibKitty. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the show. Enjoy the book time. And good night. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we'll be ending the show here soon. I'm probably going to be hopping on some Twitch to do some gaming tonight. So if you're not heading to bed and you're on Twitch, you're more than welcome to hop on. I'll probably hop on and do some gaming tonight. All right, let's get to some of these other videos here before we end the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Thank you for your participation and your information and everything, for real. I can't wait. I'm excited to have some of these days off in the new schedule. I'm excited to be able to showcase a lot more things and to be able to have time to just give you the best content possible, but also to be able to have your brains to be showcased outside of this podcast a lot more too. I can't wait to make a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be making for the channel. Okay, why we should all be worried about TikTok. It's something I did want to get into tonight real quick. I want to hear what they have to say because I've been hearing a lot of stuff about TikTok. So I do want to hear why we should all be worried. Good night.
Welcome back to Saturday Agenda. I'm Kelmany Dukart. Well, TikTok bans are sweeping the nation as a number of public universities, including two of the country's largest colleges, Texas A&M and the University of Texas, banning the Chinese-owned company. This comes on the heels of multiple state governors issuing executive orders restricting access to these social. But this being a nationwide ban is on the horizon. Joining us now to discuss is the host of Wise Guys, John Tobacco. John, great to see you. What's the buzz on this? What do you think of TikTok? Harmless social media or national security threat here?
Well, I think it's becoming more and more obvious by the amount of action different agencies, different states, and even our military are taking that it's more than just a fun little dance app. There's something seriously going on from an intelligence standpoint. And Kilmany, when I think about TikTok, yeah, I'm guilty of it too. But if you go back to 2020, Donald Trump signed an executive order under emergency powers to ban TikTok until their ownership could be confirmed to be all U.S. The U.S. subsidiary is called ByteDance, and their ByteDance CEO answers to the China chairman, as he's referred to, in Beijing. So if you know anything about global macro geopolitics, you know that if the leadership is in Beijing, that means that the Chinese Communist Party is the leadership of this country. And one of the first things Joe Biden did within his first 6 months in office was eliminate Trump's executive order. He ordered some, inquiry through the Commerce Department to see if they could come up with a way to figure out if there was China intelligence involved and kind of buried it under the rug. So
Right.
Trump wanted to ban it. Biden and an army of lobbyists. Everyone's
Right,
talking
Allison.
about that. Is different TikTok and ByteDance lobbyists have visited the White House 8 times in the last year and a half. So things are, to me, it's a lot more than just a dance app. And the lobbyists in the U.S., the American people, who maybe we have to put pressure on to stop being the face of the CCP.
I think it's interesting knowing how popular the app is, how widely used it is, particularly in the United States. Is the message trickling down right now to users?
I don't think so. I got 3 kids. They all have TikTok on their phone. And I say, hey, are you scared that, the China Communist Party may be monitoring all your info? And they just look at me like, no, Dad, I got 42,000 likes. And but the threat is killing me. The real thing is, this is how the CCP works. They operate on a 50-year plan. And here in the U.S., we operate on 4 and 8-year plans. So a lot of thought has gone into how they can aggregate information on hundreds of millions of people in the U.S. And if that's not a threat, Donald Trump has been proven right on a lot of things. He said we want this out of our country, or at least under our control. And then when he's out of office, Joe Biden goes and reverses that. So I'm not pointing at Joe Biden. We can't do a lot to the CCP, but the people of America who are working on behalf of this country, until someone can prove that there's not Chinese intelligence behind it, I think it's a threat, and I'm with Donald Trump.
That's true.
Now, I'm vaguely remembering, John, there was something called Face App that I think at one point you take a screenshot of your face and then it shows you aging or what you look like as an old person. And I remember actually a lot of people doing that, and we all thought it was quite funny until we found out that that was a Russian-owned application. Are we paying enough attention right now to what we're using in these privacy agreements and where our information is going right now?
I think kill me.
Good
I
night,
think we're all
Pam.
guilty
Thank
of that.
you.
We always click agree. None of us click. There's a whole
You need to
bunch
trust
of
me.
little print that says we can go in your phone, we can check your emails, we can actually download files that are on your desktop.
I don't know.
If you have them in the same cloud as your phone. So no, we're guilty of a lot. And, quite frankly, I remember FaceApp. A lot of people have these theories about like the 23andMe. And I think, the age of information is causing, I think, more security concerns than we really need. A fun dance on an app is funny for a minute, but at the end of the day, if some foreign enemy can take a look and say, okay, where are the families of, 10,000 military servicemen right now? I think that's kind of scary.
Great points. John Tobacco, great to see you. Thanks for being with us.
That was an interesting video. I don't know. I don't use TikTok. And ever since I started hearing these videos, I just quit even updating the app altogether. Whenever it has an update, I just don't even update it. I don't know. I just never really used it, so don't know much about it. Don't use it. Whoa, why am I on an old podcast update? What is going on, YouTube? How did I end up here? All right, let me go back to the folder again. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. All right, there. Okay, can I scroll up or what? All right, there we go. Yeah, this might be a case I don't know if I'm going to be getting into or not, but we might in the future. We got a video from Thomas Frost, RA playing pool at JC's bar. You know, if you guys would like that link, let me know. Nearly everything in the government knows. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Let's see, new outlets. We did watch that. Okay, I'm not going to watch that. That was a good video from Plunder. There's the second call. Let me go through the old videos here. Okay, prove premeditation. That is a good question. Can it prove premeditation? I'm sure it can, but I'd like to hear what Banfield says. There's a couple other Banfield episodes we'll check out right up above these ones, and then we'll go ahead and end the show for tonight.
So the question I have is when you Google search, can you be charged for a murder without a body? I wished he just called me.
What?
The allegations that the prosecutors make against Brian Walsh is that that's what he was doing somewhere around 6 in the morning, the morning that was dead. And the answer is yes, Brian Walsh. If that's you on the keyboard, the answer is, oh, yeah, it happens a lot. Actually, it happens more and more because forensics are getting really good. Here's the bigger question. Do the prosecutors have enough to charge you with murder one? Murder one, and you're going away in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for life. And no, you're not going to get the death penalty. They don't have it there. But murder two, heat of passion. Oh my God, we had a fight and we pushed each other around and she fell and she hit her head and oh, the blood and I was so scared. That's different. And you don't go for life necessarily. You can get out in 15 years. I want to bring in Tad Tobias. He's a former prosecuting attorney who actually specializes in putting people away in cases with no body. So it's your specialty. And I want to dig into that with you, but not before I start with that other stuff. Because if you go to search at you're 27, state if you're a man, that looks like premeditation to me, but not perfect, right? You can still have a fight about divorce and have an accident. And if you are then making your 5th Google search once the body is there saying, how long for someone to be missing to inherit? You're looking for her money within of her dying. Tad is one.
Hi, Ashley. Thanks for having me on, first of all. And yes, I do think it's enough for murder one for a couple of reasons. I agree with you. The only search we have before January 1st is the one related to divorce.
Divorce, yeah.
Which is helpful.
We went through
but I
these a
don't think
couple
it's
nights
enough
ago.
to kind of push you over the edge to say this is definitely premeditation. You have the following searches that, 20 some searches that are all extremely damning and do show some indication of planning and deliberation, even though they occur most likely after the murder happens. So you have that, which is helpful. But also, under Massachusetts law, first-degree murder is premeditation, which you touched on. It's felony murder, which I don't think we have here. That is a murder committed during the commission of a felony. But there's also a third way under a first-degree murder in Massachusetts, and that's if the murder happened with extreme atrocity or cruelty. I think that's going to be an easier one,
Tad,
even more so.
I have covered so many cases when if you don't know what the circumstances are, it's so hard for a jury to believe that we can just imagine the atrocity. I mean, if I was defense attorney, I could think up a million ways that there could be an accidental death and a panic and a cleanup. And as horrendous as this cleanup is, you've got to prove to a jury he intended to kill her. Irrefutable. There's no reasonable doubt here that he didn't do it. I don't know, unless there's so much we don't have yet.
Right. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk for first degree. I do think most no-body murder cases, they default to second degree because, as you pointed out, Ashley, crime of passion, two people in an argument, he pushes her, he shoves her, whatever he does, she falls down, she hits her head, she's knocked out. Oh my God, she's dead. That is the more common scenario, and certainly it is more common in no-body murder cases to have versus a first-degree charge. The thing that helps this case is there is an overwhelming amount of evidence, and I think a prosecutor could spin this into showing extreme atrocity or
Good night,
cruelty,
Punksy.
that type of thing.
Thank you for hanging
That
out.
said,
Boy,
even with
I thought that in Casey. I thought that in Casey Anthony, and I was
That's true.
fooled in
That's
in that trial. Will you come back again? There's so much more I want to talk to you. We're only just getting more.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, Ted.
Let me make sure I like that. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, dude, the frickin' searches, we went over that a couple nights ago. We actually have a screenshot of all the searches, and it is ridiculous. All done on his little boy's tablet. I don't know why you think you'd be getting away with it. Interesting. It doesn't surprise me Kohberger got sloppy. I do want to check that out too. This is from yesterday.
One disposable black glove, receipts from Walmart and Marshalls, dust container from a
Okay, let me actually take a screenshot of this real quick. All right, we'll get back into this.
vacuum, 12 possible hairs, one Fire TV stick, one possible animal hair strand, one computer tower, one item with dark red spot, two cuttings of an uncased pillow with reddish brownish stain, and mattress covers as well. Curious, interesting, but telling. There's got to be more to it, and the person who knows that is Casey Jordan. She's a criminologist, an investigative profiler, and a behavioral analyst. Casey, you saw the list.
Sure.
You know their story. What do you make of that list and what they actually might have gotten out of those items?
Well, I think we're all waiting with bated breath to find out the results of the forensic testing. Those reddish brown spots have got to be blood, and we want to know whose DNA is associated with that blood. I mean, if it is any of the victims, this is really bad for Brian Kohberger. But even if it's just his own blood, the question is, why is he bleeding on a mattress cover or a pillowcase? Oh, could he have cut himself?
You know, I want to say that with these gag orders and all of this shit going on, they better have this case and trial televised, so that way we have information that comes out when it comes to this case. If they want to have a gag order and have it as extensive as it is, they better give us a trial that's televised, so we have the firsthand knowledge, words, emotions, and everything that went into those statements, the evidence, and everything in regards to this case. We deserve that. If this is how it's going to be with the gag order, you better televise this trial.
But of all the things on that list, I'm going to argue that the hairs are the most important, and that possible single animal hair, if that traces back to Kaylee's dog, nail in the coffin, I think, in terms of what Brian Kohberger
Okay. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. And then I started to try to think about what a defense attorney would do with it. They say it's like the Mad Greek restaurant. Okay. And I know that my dog Atlas sometimes has some sheddings that are on my clothes, and I might have sat at the Mad Greek restaurant, and the person who sat down after me might have had that transferred. I mean, you know how it works, right? There's the possible, then there's the plausible, but that would be one of those that somebody would raise in court and say, well, he's been to the same places that they have, and they might have transferred that to any number of places around Pullman and Moscow.
And of course, that is what his defense attorney would do.
That's why you can
if
have
it goes
holes
to
in
trial, which I truly don't think will. It depends. The point is it reasonable to a juror to think that an animal hair from the victim, Kaylee's dog, went to the pizza bar, ended up on him and back at his place, and by the way, he is accused of killing this woman. I mean, you just have to put yourself in the shoes of a reasonable person. But I mean, between that, the vacuum bag contents, this is going to be critical because it could have skin fiber. I mean, the triangulation is happening. The dotted lines, especially with your terrific guest from the People Magazine reporter, who's talking about those contacts, those DMs through Instagram. I mean, all of this just keeps tracing, and those dotted lines get more and more solid with each piece of evidence. There is also those receipts from Walmart and from Marshall's.
Yes.
Right.
Was it for any black kind of
Receipts,
ninja
yeah.
outfit gear? Was the Dickies tag from a balaclava a mask that would have covered his face? I mean, I think that there's going to be some bombshells when we get more details. And we know they're doing all the holdbacks in case this goes to trial. But I think that the things that they got from that apartment are definitely going to start coloring in, if you will, the outline that is being drawn every single day. I mean, it just keeps mounting this evidence. And if Brian Kohberger had this idea that he was going to blame a third party, and go, oh, have you arrested any case? Of course, we know his defense attorney wanted in her discovery to know everything about
This is a good video.
It looks as if he had tried to set something up so he could blame someone else for framing him. The more evidence that they mount,
Right.
the less tangible that defense is ever going to be.
Right.
I'm with you on the why would you keep, something with blood on it in your apartment, even if it is you bleeding. Again, this is several weeks after the actual crime itself. I think these things were seized on the 30th. Yeah. So it's about weeks after crime. Very strange that there would still be blood on anything anywhere around a criminologist's apartment if he's guilty. But then that vacuum. I was also thinking about the vacuum and where that vacuum had been. And I think there's reporting as well that his car in Pullman had been cleaned. And it certainly had been Pennsylvania to know what's in that. But what about the fire stick, the fire TV stick? I know about computer towers and I know about searches. I'm going to talk about the searches in the Anna Walsh case in a moment. But what do you make of the fire TV stick? Have you seen that happening lately in criminal cases?
Good question.
No, I really haven't. And of all the things on the list, I think I discount that the most. I mean, I think that they can probably track what he is doing through the
Who
fire
knows?
stick, with his online, with his activity. A lot of people.
I heard you can do a browser search on that too, right? So maybe that's why they wanted to know everything that he was able to search when it came to gaining information or relevant to the case. I could totally see that. Maybe this will be the start of something new where they start collecting those devices.
People use the fire stick not just they want to know what he's been watching on TV. But, listen, Big Brother is everywhere. The fire stick could be storing all kinds of things about his searches while he's using it that could be interesting to them. But again, it keeps mounting. And, we're going to see what happens. I really remember he left a month after the killings. He left in mid-December to go back home. Then they got to the apartment, 2 weeks after that. I've interviewed serial killers, Ashley. They are totally pumped with adrenaline for the first few days after the killing. And then as that subsides, they're overtaken with a sense of confidence that they got away with it. And that's when they start relaxing. So when we think of all the stupid mistakes that Kohberger could have made, if indeed he's factually guilty, it doesn't surprise me that he got sloppy just before he headed home for Christmas.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
That's a great video. I went ahead and put a link to that video in chat. Definitely gonna keep that. Okay, don't put
to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to
YouTube.
click the red.
Jeez, I hit pause and I went, jeez. Okay, followed all three on Instagram. It's Banfield. Let's see. I don't Let's see. I don't know. I think that's the one that's been debunked. Yeah, I'm not even gonna play that one. We're just gonna remove that one. Dan Abrams live. This is a Banfield. I do want to check this one out real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought, Allison. Thank you for that. And this trial better be live. I'm gonna be making a.
Okay, and then what about?
I'm gonna be making a short after this when it comes to that crap. So if I'm not on Twitch tonight, it's because I'm doing stuff with video edits and such. Because I don't know, that shit needs to be said and that shit needs to be spread.
Video.
They better give us a
because
live
my
trial.
assumption would be that that's a district.
You want
and
to
there
give us a strict gag order? You better give us a live trial. That's all I'm fucking saying.
would be some kind of surveillance video. Do we have
Ridiculous.
any idea if the police saw him on video going in and out of that restaurant?
We know that police have asked, and they haven't just asked the Mad Greek. They've asked all the restaurants, all the bars, all the businesses around the area. Please give us whatever surveillance video you've got. The problem is, by the time they were doing that, this was, long enough past that a lot of this footage isn't going to be available. At some point, the footage that you have from your cameras is gone. But they've asked everybody, and from what I understand, that's certainly a thread that they're pulling at to see, can they see him ever going in there? Can they see him sitting at a restaurant outside next to it, staring, entrances, exits, that type of thing? And that's what the cops are looking for.
Well, let's hope. I mean, everybody has different, buffers and zones that, that self-delete after a certain period of time. Let's just hope that the Mad Greek had something, or someone was trained on the Mad Greek. Okay, I got to get this messaging on Instagram, the story that you've also broken. It's been a very busy week for you and in People Magazine. So I see that not only do you know that he did these messages, but you know what the messages said.
Well, they weren't anything, and that's the interesting thing. These weren't, angry messages. These weren't even sexual messages. These were just him saying, hey, and then when she didn't respond, saying, hey, again and again and again. He never expressed any sort of anger, why aren't you responding to me, or you stuck up B word or anything. That's not what he was doing. He was just trying to make some sort of contact, and it's unclear whether she ever saw those. She certainly didn't respond.
Yeah, the hey, how are yous look pretty bland. And there's that message request folder. I never look at mine. I barely ever get to my messages at all. Those are from the people who I follow. So that could easily be missed. And I just want to be clear before I let you go. So we know through People's reporting that he, from the account that was deleted, I think in October, he followed all 3 of the female victims. And we only know that he messaged one of them, but we don't know which one of the victims he messaged.
I mean, we don't. The police certainly do. But and the cops are, for various reasons, they decided that all this information shouldn't be out there.
Boy, did they. You and I have our work cut out for us with that new gag order. Steve Helling, and look at you got material anyway. Good for you. Congratulations. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Thank you for that outro, Ashley Banfield. Damn. Come on, pause it, please, YouTube. All right, we're going to go ahead and end the show for the evening, the Saturday night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, everybody. Whether you're in chat, already went to bed, or you're on replay. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow for the sports show in the late morning, early afternoon. You'll get a notification in time. If you'd like to hop in, you're more than welcome. And then we'll be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Central, and we'll be featuring the Alex Murdaugh trial. That'll be coming up here. We got Brian Enton Twitter Spaces conversation. We have a News Nation Brian Enton special that we'll be going to, and that's about 2 hours, about 2 hours right there. And then we'll be going into some other stuff as well, even some crime talk, Scott Reich. So we got a lot of information tomorrow night when it comes to tomorrow night's show, when it comes to this. So it's pretty much tomorrow night's show is going to be about Alex Murdaugh trial for the most part. So I'll see you tomorrow night then at 6 o'clock Central for that, True Crime. And then tomorrow, I'm thinking 11 a.m. for my sports podcast. So if you want to come hang out, I'll see you then. Thank you so much, everybody, and I appreciate you. Have a peaceful and positive evening, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.